North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, coming off yesterday afternoon's rally that followed news that Congress was nearing a deal to raise the debt ceiling to avoid a catastrophic government default south of the border. We'll keep an eye on the futures overall here this morning, up about a full percent here for the S&P right now. Following that news yesterday, the Dow reversed its slide to end 102 points higher. The S&P up about 0.4 after falling as much as 1.27. The NASDAQ 0.5% to the upside. It was down, if you remember, 1 full percent as we started the day. We got weekly jobless claims numbers out here just a moment ago. We'll touch on that coming up. Overall, tech stocks trying to lead back to the upside once again this morning. We'll have a look at Twitter, some news on Twitter this morning. NVIDIA and AMD pretty active here in the pre-market as well. Costco out with sales numbers that were Costco-esque, better than expected for COST. And Tilray, yeah, not good. Tilray to the downside this morning after earnings, so we'll touch on that as well. It is Thursday, October 7th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at how things are shaping up so far. Yeah, 1.1% for the NASDAQ at this point. The S&P trying to extend its rally as well, 0.9, 0.8 for the Dow. TSX futures nicely higher here in Toronto. We're seeing crude oil finally with a bit of a pullback, 1.3% to the downside after quite the week for energy markets in general. Bitcoin and Ethereum back to the downside this morning. After a couple of nice rally days for cryptocurrencies as well. Good morning, guys. We made it to Thursday. Exciting one shaping up here. Back to the upside this morning. All is well in the world. Our U.S. government doesn't need to take on any more debt because they raised the debt ceiling. So everything should be fine as far as budgeting goes south of the border.
Well, I mean, essentially, they just kicked it to the next time that this happened. I mean,
nothing to see here.
They kick it a few months down the line, or down the road, because that's what they do, and then it'll come up again, and it'll be another farce, and then they'll have no problem.
It's the function of the way it's set up is ridiculous.
And again, look, we're in Canada, so like I'm not going to pretend that I understand why it's that way. I'm sure there's a history behind the way that process works, but it rallied the market yesterday, and we're getting a bit of a continuation there. I mean, heck, man, Alibaba's even up today, and even up. It's like 5. That's a 5%, and it feels like a little bit of a trap, but there's a heck of a lot to get to here. It wasn't a ton in terms of earnings. Tilray actually has recovered. It's trading slightly to the upside, so getting a bit of a bounce in the pre-market. But as I was going across the quote board, it was just a few things that stick out. Like NEO was up over 5% on an upgrade, and then as I just mentioned, Alibaba also sticking out is it's relatively strong. And then Affirm, which has been a high flyer, is actually a little bit down, slightly down today. So lots for us to look at. It should be an absolutely fun one.
Shoot. We're just
Vinco's
rocking
still going
this right now. Like, I just took this trade, guys. Like, I just took this trade right here, 612. It just ripped to 640 right now. So BBIG starting to get going there. We just saw like a wick off bottom there at 606, and we took it. So now we're going long on that, and we're going to tweet that out. But right now it looks like hell yeah. We'll go Ape Nation here on BBIG as Vinco Ventures starting to get ready to rock and roll. So let's get wow, 640, 650. Let's go. BBIG starting the day off right here, Brendo.
Yeah, AdRiser, this company AdRiser being acquired on a joint venture with Vinco Ventures. So this was the headline that kicked off that rally, 108 million. It looks like there's a share portion as well for that. But again, this is a joint venture agreement for Vinco Ventures. So BBIG, big high flyer, if you remember going back a month or two ago. We'll keep an eye on how that one is doing. Before we go any further, let's get over and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, team. Thank you for joining us today. I wish you a wonderful day and sending you all the luck. Please make sure to like this video and let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll jump into what is moving around so far this morning. Yeah, as we said here, BBIG, big pop so far. Current run rate of approximately 62 million. Just reading some of this press release for BBIG and Zash Global Media Entertainment. So they're picking up this ad riser company, which obviously is very positive. If we go to a higher time frame, guys, go back a month or so ago. This one had quite the move, if you remember, and has come off an enormous amount. So lots of room potentially to run here for BBIG.
It's actually cut in half. I mean, now it's cut in half. It was cut in half more than that. But if you go back here, it just cut into a really, really interesting level, 650 to 670. You're going to see it on the chart here. I had a short off the earlier level. I'll be flat on the stock because it was 79 to 71 and then stop at 85. And then the next level up is a wider range, and it's going to be this 650 to 670, which it's, I mean, close to getting to now. So Vinco Ventures, always keep in mind like what the stocks have looked like, and you know, it's in an obvious downward trend. This is, I'm not going to say it's monster news. It's a monster move, certainly for it, but in the context of what it's done, let's keep in mind there was a big area here at that 650 to 670. It gets into that range. I think I'm going to take a shot shorting it for sure. But Vinco, probably, I want to say it's the volume leader, almost, yeah, well, it's essentially the volume leader that I can find because CEI is a dollar stock, so this is clearly more notional value.
Notional value, yeah, for sure. Well, I guess it probably it is. We've already just, you know, we'll rain down the cash again on this one, man. We're not done with it, but we just took that 30 cents in here, out there. I mean, pretty easy right there. We do like that 660 break. That's actually what we tweeted out early, was the 660 break, because you have Vinco Ventures here. This is the one-day chart. You know, you breaking right above here, 662. Maybe we can zoom in just a little bit more. Right in this area was an area of concern for me. So, you know, when we're able to take that kind of a profit on a quick trade, we'll do that. So in at 610, out at 642, I think it was, or 41. So good trade there to start the day on Vinco Ventures. And yeah, just play the momentum, play you know, the volume on there, and we're going to start the day off going 1 for 1 there. So we're really super happy. Can we look back at the 5-year on CEI? Why? I mean, see, the thing about CEI, we are going to get to CEI. It's on our list, okay? But you guys know the share structure. I mean, that was part of the downgrade. They've like reverse split like numerous times here, guys. Like, I mean, I don't even know why we even want to look back at the 5-year. Our chart won't even show it because of all the reverse splits that it's had. It's going to be incorrect. But I mean, you just had a gift at $5, okay? So anyone that didn't take that, you're going to be stuck now, and maybe it's going to be a good long. These bottoms, 27, 28. Like, look, guys, it was a 33-cent stock, and I know what's been happening to energy prices. They've been going crazy, but did they go up 1,000% or whatever? No. So now we're going to have to wait to see what happens with Camber Energy. And again, you know, this is a day trading stock. I tweeted this out yesterday. We actually did super on this stock yesterday until the end of the day when we just kind of went back and forth there at the closing show. But, you know, we were buying these dips. I mean, even the day before that. I mean, look at some of these longs. Oh, now they're gone. Oh, they're there. So long in here, short up here, out, you know, long. And then yesterday we had trades in the afternoon where we tried to defend the long before $1. I know Neil was shorting it through the dollar here. And, you know, now today you get that bump back up. I think it's a big relief rally, and I'm shorting through 130. So I'm not going to look back on 5 years because to me, this is not an investment. And if it is for you, then good luck.
Yeah.
And just make sure you cash some out. If you're long now, get some out at that $3 or $4 mark. I really do hope it goes back there.
It's actually not that sexy today on we'll probably get to it a little bit, but I think some of the levels from before are going to apply. Someone was asking in the morning, it's like $1 to 105 are going to be in play once again. So yeah, I'll be patiently waiting for those big ones, and we'll watch that level too, because that was a key thing that we're able to look at for CEI. And you know, we love to talk about all the symbols, and we'll get to what you guys are looking for, but it's about what's relevant, right? And everyone understands the messed up share structure, like Sean said, messed up. But we're here to trade it. So as it kind of grinds down towards it, I'm only saying, looking at that 105, 106, and the $1 level, because it is sort of sliding down to those prices right now. And I might take a shot, you know, going long in front, even though yesterday it didn't work out. In the afternoon, going long in front of $1, I'll probably take that shot again because as a day trader, it's a good risk to reward almost every single time you see it.
Yeah, I just checked back to 2015, guys. I count 5 stock splits going back to 2015. Aftermarket yesterday, they said they will not be splitting again, CEI. So keep that in mind. I was just checking on Vinco Ventures here. If you remember, that move up to 1250 was more based on this number here, the short interest versus the float. So 2021, almost 22% short interest on Vinco Ventures. The float's actually not bad. I think it was around 80 million or 80 or 90 million. I'll double check. But yeah, we'll continue to have a look at BBIG. A few other names of interest this morning. Levi Strauss, one of those. We mentioned end of the day yesterday. If you joined us in the afternoon, join us every afternoon from 3 to 4. Levi's, guys, reporting earnings up here in the pre-market, but not terribly active so far.
Look, ultimately, we talked about them being a solid recovery play. There's a lot of the retailers that I think I like, obviously, and it wasn't the. It's not. I never say you want a stock to go down, but if you kind of look at where the support was on this bad boy, like you really just wanted to be catching it on the dip in front of 24, and so you'll get a 5% move. But then what makes it maybe not as sexy for the day trader is it just ends up right in the middle of the consolidation range that it was in. So you're looking for it to break back out above like a 26 and a half, and while we can be encouraged here, you're getting a bit of a relief rally. We're into fall already. You're going into the winter season. People are going back to school. People are going back to work. People are updating their fashion, or heck, man, I mean, people just might need to get new clothes because you gained or lost or whatever it might be during COVID. All of that does suit well for Levi's, which has done a pretty good job with a fantastic brand. I just don't know if there's going to be the day trade there for us, and that's what we were getting at by not being terribly excited about it in the afternoon show when we brought this name up. Had it been catching a bit of a dip, I think that would have been a nice little play for you. Maybe watch this 26. I can pull up the 15-minute chart. You can watch like a 26 area in the next couple of days and just see if we continue this move in the market. Maybe you can get a bit of a break back to the upside. But really wanted to be playing it off of a dip into 24. You can kind of see what happened at the end in the aftermarket. Once you're gapping up past that, the explosive trade would have been if you wanted to stick it in overnight, and even then that's not that much of a return. So Levi is going to be a bit of a pass. Interesting name. If the market dips any further, this could be a retailer to pick up. There's a few others I'd like better though.
I don't know who Dr. Shirley from Green Book is. Do you know who that is? That's who you look like, apparently.
Yeah, it's I forget the actor's name.
Oh, okay.
I know the actor.
I figured it was a book you might know. I don't know if that's an insult. I don't know what that is. So.
No, you know the actor too. It's just I'm trying to.
Okay, we'll look it up. I do want to say Shiba Inu, guys. Let's go right now. Shiba Inu right here. To the moon, right back to where we were in May. Shiba Inu comes from, let's just call this 7 cents, okay? Because it's not 7 cents, but it's 0.000000000000007 down here from September 30th, okay? The date today is the 10th, the 10th month, the 7th of October. So in 1 week, we went from 0.00007 to 0.000000034. So this is like 500% move, guys. 500% move here in Shiba Inu, and still going. I don't know. I just bring it to everyone's attention here. I don't know what to think about this or what to do. I got so lucky. I put a small bit of money in here, but I think I'm just going to cash this out, buy my kid a new computer or something, because like this, just for fun over the weekend, we dumped some cash in here. I mean, I was reading about it. People were starting to rally this coin. And I mean, it's just an unbelievable move. I think some of our viewers, I think it was Shakib, and I think there's a few other ones there. If it hits 7 cents, Jude Fernando, you will have 10 million. See, this is the problem. $10 million? This is the problem with Shiba Inu, guys. Is even myself, I told you, I have 51 million or 80 million coins or something. There's so many people have loaded up on this on a lotto, and that's all that it is, right? So, let's not think that everybody's, where is everyone going to get $10 million to pay you, Jude Fernando, to pay me, to pay everybody. I won't have that much. To pay everybody all this money for their Shiba Inu coins. So just anyways, we'll get on stocks now, but just what an absolutely unbelievable run here. I woke up this morning and couldn't believe it. Even the small investment that I have is now infinitely up. So wow, maybe profit taking time. I think I guess I don't have the same restrictions. I guess I can get in there right now and start selling, but
There's no rule, yeah.
you may want to sell some Shiba Inu coin after this kind of a move, 500% up. I mean, if you do like the space, that's great, but this is a get-rich-quick coin. So I'm probably going to rotate this into Cardano, which Cardano is also up 8% today. So a nice move for everything, and I just want to let people know that I'm watching that Shiba, and my advice would be maybe up a little bit too much.
Yeah, just before we move on here, just watch out for Affirm. Remember I said Affirm was relatively weak, market now 1% up, Affirm down 1%, right on a key 132 level, which was the afternoon support, and going to be watching that one pretty closely. If it breaks, I'm going to take a shot at it pre-market. And again, I've been burned by not taking opportunities that I see in the pre-market on some of the more expensive names. So I'll take a quick little shot here. If we break this 132 afternoon support, it was also a breakout at this price. So we'll take a quick little shot. It's not really doing a heck of a lot of volume, but like you said, some relative weakness. And it's been absolutely flying on that target news.
We're trying to connect with our friend Rahim Alani from OCI Groups here in Toronto to get some Canadian content for you this morning, but some internet issues so far. Vaccine names, guys, have been pretty weak over the past couple of days following that Merck news with the therapeutic on the way, but Pfizer and BioNTech worth talking about at least this morning, as they have now officially asked U.S. regulators, the FDA obviously, to go ahead and approve their vaccine for children aged 5 to 11 for PFE and BNTX. So not a huge move this morning, but 0.8% here for Pfizer.
Yeah, look, I mean, Pfizer's getting close to like that range where I like Pfizer. I mean, I don't know if the relief rally today might prevent it from being an opportunity to catch 40s, which I thought was coming, to be short. BNTX is the one that's going to move a heck of a lot more. I always prefer Pfizer because they have more in their stream in terms of an investment. If you go down the line, I was so close to saying, man, even Moderna's up. And Moderna is almost like only 0.28%, so it's actually giving some back here. But just keep in mind that, yes, this is going to be somewhat positive news for Pfizer, and if you're looking at BNTX, but both them and your J&Js, and to a much larger extent, Moderna and NVAX have been under pressure both before the Merck pill and now still after the Merck pill, and it's hard to say that is 100% done. That's why I'm still a little bit patient, even though we're getting the relief rally in Pfizer. I know it's going to set up and look like, sort of the usual. You had a higher low, and now you're going to try and hold that higher low after holding the actual low. So you get like a 41.7 low on Pfizer. You put in the higher low. You set up the breakout, and the market goes kaputs, makes that down day, holds the bottom, which is fantastic usually. So you hold that higher low, and that's your new support. So a lot of times you'd be sitting there saying 42.25. That's just an absolute go zone. Buy it into 42 for momentum. But I'm more on the lines of I need to believe it. With the names that are sort of related to the Merck thing here, especially with Moderna. Like, it's just, you can have that same setup, but until then, like, I'll be buying Pfizer on dips in my personal account, but with both of these, I don't love it for the day trade. The setup is there. Like, I can't really doubt that from a risk to reward, it probably makes some sense to be, to have a 42.25 and give the 25 pennies, and then you have resistance. I mean, almost $1 higher. So it's going to be there. I kind of said Moderna was a short until it's not, and if I'm sticking to that, then when I make those plays, I want to be trading Moderna in that regard.
Yeah, just reading the chat. Good talk there, guys, about crypto and about a few different things there. Thank you for continuing to be a good part of our show, right? And I think that's important that we keep that. Neil just talked about Pfizer. Look, I mean, I'm just reading the note right now. By Thanksgiving, it looks like they could. We'll see. Get approval for 5 to 11-year-olds, which is the holy grail, really, for the reopen trade. I mean, the minute that gets into kids' arms, whether or not, this is not a show about vaccines, but whether or not you believe in them or not, that is going to start a rally one more time into that. We talked about the Merck pill, that you need to take that within your second day, then it's only 50% effective. There are other options here, which is great. I mean, let's just get through this pandemic so we can really stop talking about it and start focusing on other things. So I like Pfizer. I think Neil's right. I mean, into a day trade. I don't own any Pfizer. I think there are better names with bigger upside, but I mean, this could easily just from trading, like just from going up with the market, retake 46, retake 47. So, when you get that kind of a move, that's 10%. So if you're kind of a slow and steady guy, which I kind of am, I mean, I own about 30 names or so in my portfolio. So I won't add Pfizer because it's too conservative. I already have everything that's already conservative. Like I have J&J, I'm a very conservative investor, to be honest with you, besides some of these swing plays that we talked about. But for long term, if you don't have Pfizer, I think you can add it here. They have other drugs. I mean, this is a pipeline company, so not pipeline as in oil and gas, but they have drug pipelines and they have a lot of things on the go. So I prefer Eli Lilly, but I like Pfizer here.
All right, guys, as promised, Managing Director of OCI Groups here in Toronto, Rahim Alani, joining us remotely today for good reason. And Rahim looking surprisingly well rested, I have to say, but it's great to see you. Let me be the first to say congratulations. Rahim welcoming his first child on Friday, it was, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Welcome. I mean, we can do an introduction maybe after. There we go. Boom. But let's talk a little bit about some stocks here as we head into Q4. We'll touch on a few names that have been moving around lately as well. The first one, Lightspeed. PKK as well, kind of tied, only in the fact that a recent short seller report for both. Tell us about Lightspeed.
Yeah, Lightspeed's a name that we've talked about a few times over, and I remember we talked about it around the $100 range, and it had made the move into the 150 range on some acquisitions, and they were rolling out their business. And the Spruce Point report came out the other day, and I know the traders like the gap trade. You'll note it there. It traded between 106 and 114 the other day. It's been an 11 bagger since 2020, and they've been announcing revenue, they've been announcing deals, they've been announcing a lot of things that are really good for their business. The Spruce Point report sort of said, well, if you're doing all of these things in the middle of the pandemic, something's obviously up. So they questioned the revenue recognition, they questioned the way they were reporting revenue from the new businesses they were acquiring, and basically said if everybody's having trouble, particularly in places like hospitality, entertainment, how are you guys making so much money? So there were some comments that came back from Lightspeed, but it's a really interesting play if you like that swing trade there. The short position has gone up. It went up 43% the other day to 29% of the total. There's pundits that are saying to avoid it, like Jim Cramer. There's banks that are saying to continue to buy it. And it's down, off 30% off its high. So it's a really, really, really interesting trade, depending on which side of the ledger you fall on, the Spruce Point side or the Lightspeed side in terms of revenue recognition.
And let's jump to PKK because similar news surrounding this one.
Yeah, same thing with PKK. They're in the fintech space, focused in China. We talked about that somewhere around the $7, $8 mark as they were looking to get NASDAQ capital market listed. They completed that application, stock popped over 10, got up to 13. And then they had two issues come up. One was they were asked to redo their Form 40F after they were approved, which is a little bit of an odd thing that the SEC would do, and it related to the fact that they have their business in China. So that was the first part. The second part, Grizzly came out with a research report questioning their Chinese assets, saying that they overpaid for the assets, they weren't sure where the money had gone, they had sent money to China, to third parties. And again, Grizzly came back with some pretty strong points, and PKK came back with their counterpoints. So, the stock popped down to 730 the other day. Now it's back up to 990 as of yesterday. So again, depending on which side of the ledger you want to fall on, it's an interesting play on the Chinese fintech space, revenue recognition. Is it real? Is it sort of not? So a very interesting trade opportunity.
Yeah, and again, guys, we're passing along information and presenting it as it appears, right? So we got to go where the action is, and obviously these are going to be moving around. Let's maybe just talk in general real quick here, Rahim, about Q4, because obviously we're in the fourth quarter now. So from maybe a theme basis, what should we be looking at as far as what might be on the move in the last quarter of this year on this side of the border?
So given where we are in Q4 and given where the world is, a couple of themes that have started to pop up obviously are related to the holidays, and whether that's travel and you look at, the travel names like the Air Canadas of the world, and you look at retail, and there's a lot of thoughts and questions going around about supply, which is the first part, because a lot of manufacturing is done in Southeast Asia, and how the COVID impact there on manufacturing to be able to get their goods into North America and specifically Canada for us here in a timely fashion is going to be number one. Number two is people are sitting on a lot of cash that they've been able to save over the last year and a half. And will they put that cash to spending to work is another big piece. And then where will they spend that money? Online, will it be foot traffic? So that's one theme to keep an eye out on. Second, obviously, just being in Canada, oil prices. And again, if there is a lot of travel, if people are getting on planes, cars, and going places, is demand for oil and gas going to peak up? And we've seen a few M&A deals starting to take place with the price of oil edging higher. Russia has come back with some supply notes to maybe bring that into line. But if prices do continue to get higher up here, you might see some increased M&A opportunities in North America. And then thirdly, just with commodities overall. Canada, we are a commodity-based economy. One thing I think we'll talk about in a couple of weeks is also the tax law selling implications for a lot of names. And we'll go through some ideas at that point in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, getting to that season once again. Just maybe just to summarize, a few thoughts here. Air Canada, Canadian Tire, Aritzia on the retail side of things, the travel side of things as well. If you're looking for individual names along the lines of the themes you were just discussing, more importantly, I want to make sure we have time, Raheem, to introduce the new member of the Alani household. Give us the introduction.
This is Arman Rahim Alani. He's looking forward to coming onto Trader TV a little bit more regularly, but I think we're going to try and set a record for the youngest stock commentator that's appeared online on any channel. So we've got Arman here, and he's helped me with my notes and with my daily reading. So he likes Canadian Tire, he likes Aritzia. He thinks they're interesting names. His mom does some shopping at Aritzia, and he thinks that they actually just put out some guidance today on what their numbers are going to look like. The revenue's up 130% year over year, he tells me. 120%. The stock's up 130%. And Canadian Tire, I've been going there a lot to purchase home goods and stuff for this guy. And Canadian Tire is up to about $260. It's gone between 200 and 269. And again, with people having cash to spend, are they going to be spending it on their holiday goods and their home goods? Canadian Tire is a place that people go here in Canada. So it's a big trade on that side of the world. And just interestingly enough, Canadian Tire, given that it's the number one importer, container importer in Canada, they just made an investment to BC's largest port. So, there could be an opportunity for them on the importing container side as well. So that's what Arman's telling me to keep an eye out for here.
Amazing information and amazing analysis. And I mean, from all of us here, congratulations to you and yours. We look forward to getting you back in the studio with Arman at some point. Raheem, congratulations once again.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
We'll see you soon. There we go, guys. Raheem Alani with a few ideas for Q4 on this side of the border for Canadian content.
Arman with the good calls there. I mean, Canadian Tire's, look, I mean, Daily Chart is going to be a beast in the Aritzia as well. So that's what I'm talking about. A new member of the Trader TV family a little bit.
Thanks to Raheem there, because I also... And someone caught us, man. Someone on the chat said, is Arman a fan of the sticky note? And yeah, so now you guys have caught me. We just ruined it. So he's giving Raheem the goods, and he's giving me the goods as well. But such a cute kid. And sorry about that, Raheem. But now, who knows? After 1 comes 2, comes 3, comes 4. So be very, very careful right there, my friend. But really cute kid, and obviously a big friend of the show. So congratulations to Raheem Alani.
Absolutely. And look, it's going to be... it's going to be a good day when it starts out like this, right? But there's actually a lot of... Yesterday on the upgrades and downgrades board, I remember looking at it when Brendan was up there, and I'm like, who are these names? Today, not so much the case, especially on the upgrade side. Some names that you're definitely going to recognize, at least I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, much more familiar. Here we go. NIO to start things off. This GoGo, Geo, big mover over the past month or so. JP Morgan upgrading GoGo today. Costco after sales update. Pepsi on here as well. None of these, I checked most of them, none of these really doing a lot in the pre-market, but those are the downgrades.
I know why.
Yeah, risk management. I see people talking about risk management. I don't know what that means. Still on that risk management cereal box. Yes, we still are always about risk management. Look, NEO's on the sticky note today. We wrote down that $36 level because I do think it breaks it today. I mean, we talked. It's going to be on our watch list as well. We talked about some of the Chinese names, and I mean, it's just you get that upgrade from Goldman, and that's good. To me, that's basically like an all clear. I mean, you get the upgrade from Goldman, so hopefully that they're going to be in there supporting the stock at some point. Obviously, people bought him picking these $33 levels. I mean, that was about as good as it gets. Even if you look, that's a minute chart. Where's my daily chart here? Let's look at it quickly here. The daily chart, we talked about some of these stocks that were just way too low, and the only risk with NEO, in my opinion, was, of course, Chinese and the U.S. Big companies like a Goldman Sachs, big investment banks and investors maybe shying away from some of these Chinese names. But looks like with the upgrade coming, they're fine putting clients into this. So, hey, I mean, $36 is a good bump spot here. We've seen it before. I think on a market rebound, you're up 1% today. I like this name, and I like it on pullbacks too. I mean, let's not forget how NEO tends to trade. There are big moves. I mean, it'll follow the market, but if the market does dip today, let's see if we can't get a bid back down here. I mean, I don't think we get a bid back at $33, but halfway between, let's just, $35.60. If we can get something in here, $34.50 and change, then we'll be buying that. We'll also be looking at that 36 top. So, hey, man, I think the Chinese names are back in play. You can pick up FXI, which is the China ETF for the large cap Chinese stocks, or you can pick up NEO. I think is worth it. I don't know about it being up 6%. We made the mistake yesterday buying Palantir near the top, so we're not going to buy this hopefully at the top, but wait for a little bit of a pullback here.
I was going to say I'm a little bit scared of NEO right here, but I don't think anyone's going to be scared about Costco. And we talked about the whole difference between Costco as a day trade stock and sort of the long term. And I guess that 440 was your chance to get in. I not famously, no one even cares. Like one time I've even traded it, I actually tried to catch a bid on the day trading, got wicked out. And realistically, a level like that on a Costco, that's a dip buy for the long term. The day trade a lot of times will get you stopped out. But it looks like it could be breaking back up. These guys can't, I shouldn't say they can't lose, but it's like, I almost about to say it's like Canadian Tire here. They're a beast. You guys are like, what? If you're a Canadian, you understand what I'm getting at there. But they're an absolute beast, and they're going to be a fantastic play down the road. If there's any further dips in the market, this will be on the shopping list, Costco. But might have been that huge missed opportunity $15 ago.
All right, let's get a check of the overall market here. We'll bring in Arun and see what we need to be aware of. Arun, it is what a difference a couple of days make here. 4,400. I was looking on a daily chart. Looks pretty attractive now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this market came from 4,300 right after 1 p.m. yesterday, so it's not even a full day. It's a few hours worth of trading in terms of the stock market, right? So here we are around 4,400, and as I mentioned yesterday, 4,400 is, for me, the breaking point in terms of upside movement, right? Because we're sitting around the 100 DMA, 35, 40-ish area. We go 20 points above, we come back down. We go 20 points below, we come back up. And 4,400 was a level I had marked off. If we can get past that, I think we can get some escape velocity and actually get going away from this point. But here we are kind of flirting again, stalling around this point. You have to be open to the idea that this market could fall back down. I mean, it's done it so many times in the last few days. So that window is open for an opportunity to the sell side. But again, you can't deny the fact the markets are up almost 1%. NASDAQ's up almost 1%, and then ES is up 0.9. So strength is the name of the game. The speed, though, is the question. Can this kind of speed be maintained going into the open and after the open? That remains to be seen. But I am open to the idea of potentially shorting this. If we can get below 90, it's 9 o'clock now, so 9:03 now. I think if we can get a break below 90 before 9:15 or 9:20, I think the window opens up for the short into the open. But if it's right around the open, you have to see what the open looks like before stepping in, right? So I'm open to the idea of a short with a 10-point stop above 4,400 for now. That can change, obviously, in the next 15 minutes or so. If we were to come back down, first targets obviously would have to be somewhere around 60, 65. And then going into that 50 area is going to be a little dense in terms of volume. And then pretty much once you enter that 50 area, you're running right back into program activity. So that's going to be tough once we get past that point. But the cleanest area they can work with, I think, right now is potential 4,400, either break to the upside or below 90 to the downside. And that's kind of what you're looking at. That's what I'm looking at for now anyways. and see how this market holds this kind of a gain. Can we maintain this 1%? If we can, I think, good things are in store for the rest of the, not for the rest of the month, but at least, actually, I shouldn't even say that, because tomorrow is a jobs report, which can kind of change the game quite aggressively, quite quickly. So for now, at least, the market does look strong, and remains to be seen how the jobs report changes the game tomorrow.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, 8:30 tomorrow morning we'll get the employment number. So thanks. We'll check in again tomorrow morning. I wanted to mention this DNA, guys, because we looked at it once, I believe, yesterday. Ginkgo, Bioworks up again here this morning. Just saw some volume coming back into this. So Kathy Wood comes out selling Nintendo and buys up a bunch of this one. If you remember yesterday, there was actually a short report on this that caused this move down into $9.20 to $9 even. It is higher again this morning, but Kathy Wood buying up DNA yesterday.
Yeah, and I guess that's how you get a bump like that after a short sell report comes in and dumps the stock. But it's actually up again today. The pre-market volume is shockingly low for this type of a move, and then this type of a bounce, and then getting the Kathy Wood blessing there. So I don't know. I kind of came in, looked at the chart, and was like, okay, well, maybe this will be a little something here at 11:20 for a bit of a fade. And then if it actually starts going, maybe get one of those like squeeze plays where you get the day after a short report, and then it starts breaking out. But without volume, that's a no. That's almost like a no-fly zone for me. Before we move on with everything, did mention a firm there through 132, so probably should say this. I was able to, I don't know, we can hit a key for this. Excuse the fact that I'm going to hit, it's not, a firm has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but I just wanted to hit one of the new ones that we have there. So I don't get a chance to use them very often, so let's get that one in. Just took some shares out for about $1.25 or so. Want to take some profit. If I'm going to get in pre-market on this, then I'm definitely going to take some profit out here. Maybe a chance to reload, and here's the reason why I just took some shares off. It was ridiculous that I didn't do it the first time in front of 130.50, because it comes right back to 132 and gave you a re-entry at that key price. So it was a pre-market low, it was afternoon support on a firm. And I'll say this too, like Arun, he was all ready to give the market like the blessing to go to the upside, and then he's like, well, I don't know, jobs report tomorrow. So if the market tanks after the jobs report tomorrow, I'm not saying it's Arun's fault, but Debbie Downer over there, man.
Yeah, it's always it's pretty much always Arun's fault, I think. Okay, so I just did get out of some 10%, 15%, 20%, something like that, of our Shiba Inu. But right now, okay, CEI coming back in here. We will talk about Camber. A lot of you guys asking about it. It's on the sticky note here that if we ever get up to 130, that I better be shorting this thing. So we'll take it at 125. So we just took that thing at 125 on the short side. So nice big run up there for CEI. Can it still go? Yes, it can. I mean, this isn't, whoops. This has nothing to do with what I think is going to happen in the middle of the day. I mean, it's still only 907 right now. So a nice little pull to the upside right now. If we can get back into this area like 118, 119. I mean, look, congratulations to anybody that was long overnight, man. I mean, you're getting 40% win right here. Well, you did. Now it's coming back to the downside. So your boy's going to short this. We'll take out a little bit of profit if I'm allowed to get it. And then we'll see where it goes from here. But right now we're trying this. We're shorting it into this 130, which was the high yesterday. Not the high yesterday, but the high in that afternoon there, that little peak there. And then we sort of started to get going. You could see some volumes coming in. Yes, well, you can't see it, but maybe now you can. There you go. You can see some of the volumes coming in here in the afternoon on the sell side. Obviously, it broke $1, so you're able to trade a lot more. But on the way up down here, there was volume coming into CEI. So, and I know we're talking about the watch list a little bit early here, but just to give you guys an update that we are in it. It's a new position. We got an email for someone asking to we let them know every time we're in a new position. I think that'd be kind of cool to do that. When Arun's here, me and Neil, I mean, Arun's never in too many positions, so I kind of hit the siren to let you know when I'm in one. But that may get busy with Neil and I, but we are going to right now watch this. If we can get it back down to 120, we'll take 4 or 5 cents, and we'll look to rinse and repeat this thing over and over again. We're watching out for this 135 area or so as the top here, guys.
Lots of other names to get through here, guys. Let's go to Twitter. First off, they sold this MoPub, which is a mobile ad network, to AppLovin. Up on that news this morning. So this is a decent sized deal, 1.05 billion for MoPub here, guys. Twitter looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Twitter up a couple of percent here, and Well, actually, I think Snapchat's on our watch list again today, and that's one of the ones that we really, really liked off that 70 level. And Twitter did put in a similar bottom, albeit not as good at 58, but it's a similar looking chart here. I've sort of added the 200 to my charts, so the daily charts, anyways, and you're kind of getting this convergence here of both. So I don't know that necessarily we're in the clear, like we've said, in terms of a relief rally. Like maybe we have to go a little bit more. Maybe we have to pull back a little bit more. And I think you're looking at Twitter forming now almost a double bottom at that 58. And if we get back there, you want to make sure you're checking out that level. For now, today, I'm focused on 63.5, right? Like you've got this kind of a weird head and shoulders thing going on. We had the 63.5 to break. You got a few dollars up here to 67.5, and then came back down here, made a double top before rolling over. And then you're right about here testing it on Twitter. On the positive news, you're getting mostly a gap up. You're not seeing a ton of follow through on low volume in the pre-market. With the idea that we don't get a follow through here, the risk to reward just seems like it makes sense to me to short Twitter in front of 63.5. So into that at 9:30 is the play I'm looking for, and it's just based off this lower high on what I guess you can call a head and shoulders pattern for those of you that are familiar with it. But realistically, it's kind of clear here to see. You had a breakout at that price, and we started to head back into the downside. You had a consolidation in the 62 to 63.5 range, and then you had a 2-day high here, and then you had a rollover. So as we test that, if I get a chance at 9:30, because volume hasn't even come into this stock in the pre-market, if I get a chance going in at 9:30, or at 9:30, I should say, to short anything, I guess from about 62.75 to the 63 quarter mark with a 50 stop, maybe even a few pennies higher than that, I'll take a shot at Twitter. It could certainly break out from there. I think at that point, that'll mean that the Nasdaq's back to over 1% up, probably pushing that 1/4, and it looks like a bit of a rally day. And I think we've got some other names that I like on a rally, but I look at that Twitter and it just kind of feels like there should be some resistance to that 63.5.
So we already took that 30 cents on BBIG. We're taking another couple cents here on CEI, so we did take a little bit out. Yeah, Twitter, I mean, look, we know Kathy Wood, ARK, has been talking about this a little bit, and it tanked hard the last couple of days. So yeah, you are going to get a relief rally in this. Again, I don't know if up 2.5%. I can't recommend buying anything on the open here. I mean, it's been a little bit of a sick market in the last hour or so. So coming to the downside, we look at yesterday. Unfortunately, this is a 1-minute chart. I'll have to show you some levels, but we'll do that later on the Nasdaq. But you're still up that 1%. I think Twitter's probably a fade here just because it's been a big move up. I don't think whatever they sold wasn't that big of a deal, but again, let's just wait to see what happens. Twitter's a very, very funny stock. If you can get this thing back to $61, you'd be surprised where this will go on a tank today. So let's see if we can get back here to 61 and change. That's where I'm going to be buying it. So I think it's going to tank today. I just mean, like, what if the market turns back to zero? Yesterday we put out a video early on in the morning, right? I don't know, 7:30 or something, and I said, the market at that point, was down 1.5%. I said, let's see. I believe we get back to positive in the afternoon, and the next thing you know, we're up 0.5 or something, or 1%, even on the S&P, but the Nasdaq up 0.6 or something yesterday, 0.45. So, let's see if the same thing happens again today. I believe there could be a pullback right off the open. So 61 and change were buyers of Twitter, even right here. Yesterday's kind of level, 61.40, 61.50. Let's put some flyers there and see if we get picked up on the downside.
Let's get through a couple of names here, guys. Affirm back on watch. Target saying yesterday shoppers at Target can now use Affirm services for some purchases. Their buy now, pay later services for Affirm. Tilray as well. I want to mention Tilray. They reported a 43% increase in first quarter revenue, but also a $34.6 million loss for the quarter, which was nearly double as expenses also doubled. But yeah, Tilray here, 1% to the upside so far.
Yeah, I'll chew through Affirm really quickly because I know Sean can speak to Tilray for sure. So, look, Affirm, it's got an all-time high at about 147. It pushed on that Target news and made a top at 140. If you're watching the afternoon show, you probably remember we did have the short off the top there. And as I look at it here, we had a lower high at like 131 or so, and this 132. This was a peak in the afternoon, or just early afternoon at about noon, and then it pulled back. Bounced off that price late in the day. That was a short that we had. And then I came in today looking at, okay, the bottom of the move that we shorted yesterday also happens to be the pre-market low, and then it dips down there and supports it. That's a break that I'm going to take. So I'm going to ride this, sort of thinking along the lines that Affirm has been such an unbelievable runner, relatively weak. It's pulling back in an up market. So that's why I like it to the short side. That's why we've taken it here. And just a heads up, you guys are trading Neuro. It just broke down. So I'm going to look to get some shares out in front of the quarter mark, but that just broke down through that 960. So if you're watching that one, Jude, hopefully you're not long.
All right, we're into Tilray here. Could Affirm be the PayPal or Square this year? Yeah, I mean, my call this year was on the semis. We could talk about SMH, and my call of 2020 was PayPal. So that gave everybody a 300% return. We'll see on Affirm where that's going to go. And I think with Target, I mean, Neil just talked about it. I think there's a lot of opportunities with Affirm, and I don't think there's too many opportunities with Tilray here today. I mean, sure, they got the beats. You know, everyone likes to not everyone, but some people like to participate in their product, but unfortunately they miss both on the top and the bottom lines. And it's not a great stock here. It's sick. We've talked about that. It's down huge in the last quarter. I mean, I don't even know. Again, let's zoom in this a little bit more because we don't need to see all that. I mean, this can't be a stock that we recommend to buy. I mean, that's impossible. We're all bag holders here, and if you're not, congratulations, because I am. So I thought with the acquisition of Afria that these numbers might even be a lot better, but they're not. August, 117 million a year earlier. They did top revenues. They got 168 million, but unfortunately, even though with bigger revenues, they're still not able to make any money. They widened their net loss to 34 million with only 21 million the first quarter. So, you know, they sell more cannabis, marijuana, and they make less money. So, I mean, that's not going to be a recipe for success. So with that being said, I mean, I'm short this name. I want to short these levels right here, 1070. If you look at a 20-minute chart, and again, you know, it's not, a lot of this isn't really rocket science. You've hit 1070 a couple times here. So we'll look to see about taking it out the bottom. Those of you that, you know, took, and I said there could be a lotto to the upside here, because if you did break through, and we talked about that, if you broke through 1150 here, then I believe we could have taken out 12. I mean, imagine this, the stock's up on what I thought was a pretty bad report. So what was going to happen to the stock if they actually made money this quarter? Like I thought there was a chance, right? We saw what Aurora did. That was a good trade. So let's see what Tilray does today. I know Daryl's been talking about it as well, but you know, that 1070 is a big level. I'm looking to short everything up to about 1150. If we're going to be wrong, that's going to be the level that we're wrong. So we'll short all the way up to 10 to 1150, and then we'll get out and punch our ticket long and see if we can make that 50 cents back if it goes to 12 off that 1150. So let's short now. This is a very small position. I do have other offers on the way up, hoping that can go. Wow, Ethereum's starting to take off now. I actually rotated. I didn't sell Shiba Inu. I rotated into other coins. So, you know, let's hope that crypto can keep going. But for right now, we'll stick in the weeds, and we'll wait to see what Tilray does. But I'm a short all the way up to 1150 there, Brendo.
Quickly on Penn National, guys. Looks like the Ministry of Canada has approved their acquisition of the Score Media. So not a big move for Penn, but it is higher here in the pre-market. Just a heads up on that name. Let's continue along. Chinese stocks getting a bounce. Looks like U.S.-China relations a little bit better after yesterday. This Evergrande story seems to be kind of swept under the carpet as well. They've come up with a way to deal with Evergrande. So across the board here, I mean, 3.5% to kind of 5.5% for anything listed that is from China today.
I mean, Alibaba 5. Now, NEO has the upgrade, as Sean already mentioned. So maybe that's in a tiny bit of a category. Alibaba got the Charlie Munger upgrade, if that's what you want to call it, yesterday. So it's following through. Z is going to be doing a Zoom call with President Biden. So there's that kind of I guess those higher level talks. You can't ask for too much more. But and I hate to say this because I bought Alibaba shares not too long ago, 162, and I'm not happy with the fact it's going down. And I want to say this is the start of the rally, but if you look since that, and this was the dip that got me in when it bounced off this 150 and came back in 162 on the daily chart. If you kind of look at when it broke down through that price, we then put in this resistance level at 155. Right, and we're essentially gapping the entirety of this move and then holding a tight consolidation at the top, a ways away from that 155 level, and the market's pulling back, and it's not. I hate it, but if we break this low, I mean, there's a lot of room. Like, there's just a huge gap to fill here on Alibaba. And every single time I think it's going to run, I've been wrong about it. And this is now a couple of days in a row with some very strong moves off the bottom. I mean, we're $14 a couple of days ago, or I guess it would have been Monday, but a few days ago, we were $14 lower on Alibaba. So it's a huge move up. It's hard for me not to think that a breakdown from a momentum standpoint doesn't make sense. So, you know, it's the same way that I just shorted a firm at 132. It's just 150.75 in Alibaba. That's going to be a short break for me. And even if it pops, like if it pops through 152 here, I'll probably be looking to fade 155 on Alibaba. So again, this is just a day trading show, and we're talking about the momentum in the stock, and I look at us not above that level just yet. So I kind of hope eventually it breaks it. I'll be probably betting at least one time against it here today, twice potentially if it does break down 150, the current pre-market low here. This is about 150.75. If it breaks that and I take that trade, I might have two shorts. If that doesn't work, I might try it off 155 as well. So I'll probably take two cracks at Alibaba, depending on how it trades here at the open, and unfortunately to the south side.
Yeah, I still have FXI on my mind. I mean, I still think that this is really probably the right thing to buy. You know, this is the Chinese ETF, right? The Chinese 100. So if you like some big cap tech stocks in China, this is the name to buy. And I'm just not really going to I'm not buying anything now. I'm not buying NIO. I'm not buying more BABA. I'm not doing anything. I don't think any of these Chinese names are very investable right now. Let's just wait to see. I mean, there's so many things happening here in Canada and obviously down there in the US that there's so many names right now that you can put your money into that I just don't really trust any of these. I mean, I'm always hearing good things about JD, the autonomous things going on there. And I mean, the technology can't be denied. I mean, you know, China is probably, you know, one of the top. I mean, if not, I mean, you have Korea, Taiwan, China, obviously in the US as well. But, you know, technology, some of these companies are just doing amazing, amazing things. It's just, are they investable with the backdrop right now that you have happening? So I'm going to wait on all of these names, man. I mean, sure, it would have been great to pick up JD at 60. It ran to 84. I mean, and now it's all the way back, not all the way back, but now you're back down to this 50 period. So I like JD, I like Alibaba, and I like NIO, Baidu. But if you want to spread out the money, I don't know. I'll have to find out. I know Nintendo is not in the same realm as this. Nintendo's a Japanese company. I'm not even sure why Kathy Wood sold it. I've been talking about Nintendo a little bit. So I like that name. I'm not in it. But also Tencent. I mean, TCEHY. I mean, PK, there it is. This is another name here that's on the pink sheets. That's why we go PK. You know, OTC markets. This is a name once the chart loads that you'll see. This has been hammered as well. I mean, and they're into everything, right? They have what is it, WeChat, and they also have WePay, things like that. So I mean, you want to talk about PayPal and different things. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, just look up Tencent and you'll see what exactly they're involved with. So I mean, and this is just still pretty ugly, right? We don't have any aftermarket trading, so that's why. Or pre-market on OTC, which is why it looks like this, but you're still near all-time lows here on Tencent. So not all-time, but you know, recent lows. So I think you got to pick up some of these names. If you like them, I would just stick with FXI, take the ETF. You don't have to worry about any of these names.
All right, let's jump down here, guys. We have Camber Energy in a filing aftermarket yesterday said they will not split. Again, I mentioned earlier this morning, 5 splits since 2015 for CEI. Again, that's really the only news. We're back above $1. Tons of volume again yesterday. CEI to watch. Also wanted to mention this one. GM trying to break to new highs here, new session highs at their investor event yesterday. Their CEO said that they're looking to double revenue by 2030. If GM succeeds in that, annual revenue by 2030 would be $244 billion for GM.
Yeah, they've got lofty and aggressive goals for GM there. Look, GM's not always a day trade, and so I will do the whole thing where I apologize for everything, and it's like, so apologies for coming back to CEI. I just got into it. The level up to that top here in the afternoon was a 133. So when we were talking in the morning, I was like, it's not that sexy. It's that 133 top that I would short in front of, and it's that 105, 106, and then $1 that I would go long in front of. And I just don't like anything in between. So it just curled off of 130, broke the pre-market high. So didn't really care about the pre-market high, cared about these levels here. And then once it had a bit of a turn, short on the way down. So I got 27s now. I'd probably work that position to this 133 area. You can give it maybe to 135. 3.5 just because it's a round number. Also be hawkeye on level 2 just to see if there's icebergs or gigantic order flow. So I'm in this CEI now. You mean the news? Who knows? This is more about the gap up and then playing the levels, playing the scalp game, and playing the momentum. So that's what it's going to be all about for me here in CEI. So
satellite transportation provider Rocket Lab, love that name, Rocket Lab. I hate rocket companies because that stock sucks. That's RKT. I'm a holder of that, pretty small. Thank God we were able to get some out when that was rallying like crazy, their rocket companies, but this is Rocket Lab, and again, a nice deal here. They come through with a deal from NASA, so a new contract. So people asking, why am I in this? That's why. A nice big bump up. I mean, wow, up to 17 yesterday on that announcement. Now you come back in here to 15. It looks pretty nice. We can give this all the way back to 14, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be averaging into this one if it comes back down. So RKLB right here. We will sell a little bit at 15.50 like we did on BBIG. Well, we got out of everything on BBIG, but we'll get out of more here on Rocket Lab if it tends to go back up, and then we'll hold the rest for a lotto ticket. But definitely trying to buy some. I mean, I can't see how this is a bad story. So if we get back into between 14 and 15, we're a buyer of any dips, and we're a seller for 50 cents on the upside if we could take that. But that's why we're into Rocket Lab. New contract with NASA makes sense to me to be in that name as we'll go. And then here's BBIG, guys, in there and out there. So yeah, a little bit of a sweat job on that one, but I mean, it just went up so much there, like literally 40 cents in just 1 minute there. Moderna to the downside? Is that what's happening?
You never get a chance at this.
I mean, I was trying to sell this thing at 320, and
you have to sit in the short. You honestly, like you do.
Bullseye.
Yeah, you just have to sit short in Moderna. Like sometimes it's just you can't be patient with this stock. It just broke 300 again. It's now down $13 from pre-market highs. It's a short till it's not, but sometimes you just got to be in it and holding it. Wow, Moderna, one more time here. Brendan.
A few minutes ago, right at the bottom of the list today, Neurometrics up on a fibromyalgia device treatment that the FDA gave the approval for, but this thing's already coming off significantly. I could be possibly done with this before the open. NURO, though, I was just watching 975 and then 10, which was this kind of pivot in the pre-market above that. 1030, 1050, a little bit of a level here on the daily chart, but this is a weak stock on the daily time frame, so NURO fading off, guys.
Yeah, Brennan, in Neuro, we're just talking about that when we like it. I can basically throw out most of the game plan on Moderna, except for what I thought was going to be, and again, you go back to when it broke 300 the last time, I guess it broke it to the upside. Pullback was to 292.
Look at this market.
So it might get a bit of a bounce off there. The market's starting to roll back over here to the downside, but if it bounces off 292, like maybe it gives you a relief push that you can short a pop in Moderna. I guess that's the only way to go here with 3 minutes to go. I was planning on a bit of a fade trade into the pre-market highs, or at least something off of those levels. You could use the 316 area as well. That's all out the window because Moderna, wow, yeah, it just, I don't even know what to say about the stock anymore, man.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of a wink here because when the market was flying high about 30 minutes ago, we did say, you know, look out for that downside, and here it comes coming through right now. A good one there, day trading mom. She said, go BBIG or go home. So we've already gone BBIG right here today, and I'm going to do it again here if we break through 610. I just put a tweet out that we're going to wait for it to drop to 5, but that may not happen. So we're going to try to take a 610 or so break here on BBIG to take that to the bank a little bit here. It looks like RKLB is getting ready to rock and roll. You know what we haven't done yet? We haven't showed the imbalances. So AT&T right now, it's going to come out right soon with the NASDAQ numbers. So right now everything's NYSE. Naked Brands down here. So we'll see at 928. This will all get updated and we'll get NASDAQ. So that's coming out right now. Alibaba. So some of these Chinese names that we've already talked about on the buy side, right? So here we come. So now it's 928 now. And I don't see any significant NASDAQs being updated. So there's going to be nothing there. Palantir, we talked a little bit about this today, but not much off the open, I believe. Maybe we didn't. Yeah, so yesterday, unable to get out of the way of Palantir. Thank God it was not as bad. I mean, we kept selling all these pops. We really just took that trade and made some money there and then held a very, very small piece. Got out at the end of the day for eventually the worst price. But again, took some out. Was actually not a profitable stock. I mean, you know, I think we were 6 for 8 yesterday. We lost on something else. And then right here, though, I'm looking at this 24 level. I think if we take it out, it's go time. Yesterday was obviously profit-taking time on Palantir, so it's a go for me at 24. We probably break that early. I just got to make sure I have my orders set to take it. Yes, we do. So we'll take a 24 bid. And then look, man, if this wants to tank today because the futures go down, then we're not going to stand in this way either. So we're going to wait and then just get out, man. If it comes all the way back down, we'll try to protect that $23, but I don't expect it to break there. So let's get ready to rock and roll. CEI in the money, Rocket Lab in the money, Tilray in the money.
Yeah, all
Tilray
working to the downside, and that Neuro also working to the downside. I took some more shares on a Neuro in front of 9 even, so we'll celebrate that a bit. But I see this MRUS here. It's so, I mean, I guess it didn't have enough volume, so it's restricted in our system. We'll get that one. I'm going to get that one unlocked so I can be able to trade it. But huge move up. I see you guys talking about it. It's low volume for now, but a 50% move on MRUS. It will be on the radar here, and we'll come back just slightly after the open to talk about it. The Affirm position, which I will be watching at the open here, it just bounced back up to 132 and then starts to roll over once again. So market coming back in just a little bit. Moderna coming back in just a lot. And then watch out for that BBIG as we drop the countdown on Thursday. Ms. V is on the bell. She didn't wear the black. She's got the green on, though. So let's see what happens here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it.
All right, and there it goes. So let's now see what happens here to everything today. Why not? Let's just have a quick look and see. As CEI starting to come to the downside, we have some bids there as well. Rocket Lab's trying to make some money here on Rocket Lab, so we'll see if that can go. Yeah, you know our price target for that. We're right there. It's going to get hit. We're right here at 48. I don't know why everybody else is at 48, but we are. So there goes Rocket Lab to the upside right now. Tilray's starting to go as well to the downside. We'll just see what happens. So far, so good, guys.
Yeah, I can't complain about just about anything here today. We'll power it up here. CEI just got some shares out in front of what is now VWAP, 24, 23, 21, all the way on that rollover. We'll take advantage of it. Affirm is starting to accelerate to the downside here a little bit. I don't have the fill on Alibaba, so I guess that has not moved, but Affirm just took out 129 and then bounced back up. So it looks like that 132 is going to be a good resistance level for us, guys. So and watch out, Moderna is making a bit of a pop. I want to be fading this one if it gets in any closer to those mid 300s.
Okay, spin it already, man. We're already making that cash, man. Look at Tilray. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. Caught with your pants down? Hell no. We are slaying dragons right now on Tilray. So let's go now back to the downside on this name. Short there. We talked about this, man. Short. What's up to Daryl Flinch? Out there. Short again. Downside right here on this name. So we're pretty happy with where things are going right now on Tilray. So to the downside. Good trade here. Hopefully. Yes, sir. There you go. Well, what's up, Daryl? Hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so we missed that Rocket Labs. Yeah, CI starting to go as well right now, so we got to watch out for that. Up to 130, we're averaging in. We just took some 32s there, so now we are short CEI. Let's see if this one fades back in. But I like this trade to the short side. This is the trade that we're waiting for. This could be another banger, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I just tried to get some CI. Remembering it's short sell restricted, so you can't hit the bid. So I just tried to hit 30s, remove liquidity from the $1.30, but it's short sell restricted, so you need an uptick to be able to sell the stock. So unfortunately, wasn't able to add to it. I just watched Moderna pop up here. It couldn't even get to 300. I might take a quick shot in front of the 300 level, just if this is going to be that weak. I do like it a little bit higher, but as weak as it's been, like I said, sometimes you just have to be in the darn thing, and that's the only thing you can do. And of course, as I try to catch it, here it comes, falling like an absolute rock once again.
Bang with the money, because there goes Tilray, guys. Congratulations to you, Daryl. Congratulations to anybody that has this trade with me on board, man. Bang, 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 bang. All the way to the downside. That's a big trade for me right there. So that's a good one. Come on, Rocket Lab. Let's go, buddy. You can get going. We just literally stopped at my order. So that's unbelievable. We talked about where we were at. Maybe we shouldn't say our exact prices anymore. Like we're at 48. Like why does it even stop at 48? I have no idea, but it did. So Rocket Lab, we tried to take that big trade for you, and hopefully we can have it on board for us as we're getting ready to rock and roll. CEI does go down. We didn't take any profits on that because we're short at 29. So let's see if it takes out the top. I kind of secretly do expect it to do something up here. So we'll wait to see. If it goes, it goes. We'll reverse it out. But other than that, man, we'll sit on the bid and try to take some out as we come back to the downside, as we do have a decent amount of shares.
Quickly, two things before we go to Brendan. One, we'll celebrate some Moderna. I got some shares in front of 98. We just took some out in front of 95. I also got that Twitter. Remember, I wanted to round into the short there in front of that 63.50. So we got that position 63 short on Twitter as that starts to roll back over again. Brendo.
One we talked about, guys. Levi making moves, trying to push to 10% here, 9.5 right now. Big time volume coming into Levi, up about $1 so far.
Okay, Levi. Yeah, so there you go, man. A good name there. We talked about that off earnings. I don't know. You know, I'm not in the name, but who knows where it's going to go? Holy shoot! There, yes, sir. The backflip is in, man. CEI just tanked City right there. A nice trade for me. That was a big move to the downside. Someone just flushed that thing.
Someone
man.
just
we didn't get out of enough there, so we'll buy. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go, man. Big trades on CEI. I hope everyone's okay on that one. We gave you those levels, man. There's that short, and yeah, that couldn't have worked out any better for us right there. So CEI, good trade. Let's hold for more downside. But yeah, super happy with the way that one just traded out. Wow, good drop there. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, it tried to test that high. You saw what happened. Moderna, we stepped in a little bit early so we can scalp the trade here off in front of that low. It's got a 293 low. Remember 92 on the daily chart. So it's a bit of a tighter stop to this 300 level, which is stacking up right here. Moderna's got a pretty sizable 300 level. If that goes, I don't know that I want to hold past it, because if this catches a dead cat bounce, it could be absolutely crazy. And I liked it a little bit higher up, guys. So I am in this Moderna trade. We did take some profit. I do want to stay net short if it holds that 300 for sure. And then just to come back, yeah, it doesn't even hold that 300. So you take a couple, you lose a couple. But I had to have some exposure to it after what happened earlier when you had that monster flush. For CEI, I found myself still in, even though it did that big of a flush. I was waiting around the same prices as before, like down around the 21, 22, 23. So those are the fills that I got. To me, if it's going to reject that yesterday's high or the afternoon high that hard, this 133 that we talked about, it could be a short for the rest of the day kind of thing, especially if it breaks back below 120 in VWAP here, guys. So I'm going to be hanging on to at least half my position, but I do want to make some profits here as I still have slightly more than that.
All right. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're just rocking and rolling right now. I mean, the biggest trade obviously is going to be Tilray. I'm still pissed off that we missed that Rocket Lab there by 1 penny. I mean, we were only going to get out of half, but still, missed opportunity there on RKLB right now. I don't know what Rob is doing, but he's sticking middle fingers up and I don't know what Rob's doing over there. Okay, so let's just get ready to rock and roll there. Lucas, control your man over there. Going to the downside right now is CEI. So we'll watch people talking about Palt. Maybe we could talk about Palt right now quickly. Is it going to halt? Is Palt going to halt? Why are you guys yelling at us for that name? Yeah, nice move. Okay, yeah, probably is going to halt soon. A nice move to the upside there. It could halt volatility. It doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of volume on this move, but we'll see where we're going to go from here. That's
no
Palt
volume on it
right now. What up, Beep?
Another one with huge volume here, guys. Chinese name, I should say, XPeng. XPEV up nearly 6% here, just popped up at day highs for that one as well.
So, I mean, I don't know. Paul, this is ridiculous. Sean said low volume. That's ridiculously low volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, man. Like, up 80 cents on 400,000 volume. I'm staying away from that one. We'll get to that. And unfortunately, we don't have, like, that MRUS in our system. Someone just asked, like, to, like, get out of your short in a firm. Remember 136, right? So 136 is right here. The range, that 132 bottom in the afternoon, then you have that 136 up at the top. That's the lower high that got put in, and that's where I'm going to be concerned about a firm here. And I'm going to be shorting pops into that and kind of maintain that position as best as I can. As it gets down here, like I just took some shares at 134, so it goes a couple of bucks. I'll scalp it just like before in front of that 132. Previous resistance turns into support, yada, yada, yada. You know that game. I did get the rest of that fill, so half out on CEI. And remember I said Moderna, get out at the tight stop and then let it test the high. This is one of the reasons why. Now it's testing that top. Brendan, what do you got?
Nice look for Square so far this morning, guys. Jefferies resuming coverage at buy for this one, so up 3.5 here for SQ.
Hopefully, we slipped into PayPal yesterday at 260.60. Some of that. Okay, good. So that's still making some moves here. So that's a good trade for us. We slipped out of our Facebook and into some PayPal. I mean, I got to get more and more. The tech sector is what I'm all about, so we got to watch for that as well. We did slip into Nucor, but Facebook looks maybe a decision made wrong. I'm still heavy. I mean, more into Facebook than I am into PayPal, but yeah, nice move upside for Facebook. Let's see if it holds that 338.50. The market, there's that move that we talked about, right? I mean, the market's been crazy the last couple of days. Big moves off the open, and then let's see what fades out now. So we're nicely up that 1.13%. So needless to say, man, we got to find some longs here to watch out for. But CEI right now is just cash cow. Yeah, go ahead, man. I mean, we're making a lot of money here. Tilray as well, continuing to go to the bottoms. Ooh, my Tilray bid was at 130, 1030, went to 1037. So watch out for that.
Yeah, no, I only hit that because of like, you know, a firm, and someone was asking like, you know, where we had the targets. And I'm glad you guys did that because I might not have mentioned the 136, but here we go. It's now headed back, and it broke that 32.
Yo!
And as long as it wants to continue to go down, I want to maintain the overall short position. I just missed a chance I think I missed a chance at Moderna and probably BBIG, but I want to hang on to this Affirm in case it maintains the relative weakness that it's got. Not ignoring Neuro, but when the small caps do that big flush, I think you kind of, it's not that you put it on your back burner, but the play is pretty simple. Hold, and then look for pops into VWAP, or at least about to 950. So that's going to be the name of the game for Neuro. I probably don't have nearly as good a price as Brendan. I want to say probably. I don't have to look. I don't. He always has a better price because it's Brendan. Bottom or top Wickens is what he does. I did get that Twitter, but Twitter, and I'm sort of noting this, as the market comes back up, Twitter's showing some relative strength, right? So it did give me that fade right at that 63 level. I didn't get my second fill in the quarters in front of that 63.5, but then it tried this cluster right here at 62.5. I was on the bid. It missed me by a couple of cents. I think I might have to cover some of this in front of that 50 if I get a chance, as we send you back to Brendan. What's up?
One that was moving yesterday, guys, another one here, Macy's. Back towards this high. Remember, they were talking about selling or recommended by a shareholder to sell their e-commerce business. So that caused that spike yesterday. We're right here, right now for Macy's.
MR.
Let's check out Palt again. We were just talking. Oh my God, yeah, good call out on you by you guys for Palt. Wow, Palt's still starting to go, man. Yeah, up to 8 and change. I mean, if you guys are long this name, that's a nice move. 18%. Just don't. I mean, $9 held out on Palt there. Last couple days it tried. I mean, that's on a bounce back up. Tried to get going, stopped at 870. So just a little bit of a level there for you guys. 870 or so on Palt might be something. So watch out for that, and then definitely look at $10, man. Psychological level on that one. So definitely watch back on that one for PALT. If you haven't hit the like button, please do it, man. We put the show on for you every single day with the free watch list, with free everything. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that a little bit. Hit the like button if you can, please, and thank you. BBIG, so another name here that we've already hit today, and we didn't get back in. We were waiting for that 610 to break. That didn't happen. Now it's just a slow kind of grind to the downside. I don't mind this if it gets back to 5. That's what we talked about. So we'll see if that can happen. Back to 5 would be pretty sweet for that. And then good thing we did cash out there of more than half, but not, which would have been 100% of that CEI. So that just takes out there. And I think that's a good for the long now. I mean, it already retraced back in. It's going to look ridiculous because I have so many fills, but there's the short, there's an out, there's a reload there, and then there's an out back here. So far, so good, man. This can't be a losing trade, which I like when that happens. But at the same time, I always like to have more money on board than this. So here we go. Let's wait to see if it takes this top out. We're going to reverse long. Nice support down here for sure. I think the support's there at 120, guys. So if we do get reversed into this long, which we might do, at a 135 break, we're going to hold this back to 120 and see if we do moon the rest of the day here on CEI. So I do think there is that opportunity, so get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I actually took mine out at that 33 break. I almost didn't want, when it held VWAP like that, I almost didn't want to hold through for that 35, so I just adjusted the stop there. You mentioned, I'll get to Affirm in a second, but that's now sliding pretty deeply again. But Vinco Ventures, BBIG here, just pulled right back into 560. The only significance to this is right around the price. When I shorted this one essentially for a flat trade off a 580 area here, this is where it stalled out. So if it catches a bid off of this price, not a bad chance that it could go back up into VWAP and would give you an entry point there, guys. I was looking back at that MR, I guess it's, it's MRUO, I think it is. And we still don't have it in our system. I don't really know the news on it just yet, but at the front of my mind is Moderna here. And it is just tested like 3 times the top. And I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart so you can kind of see. If you go this high or low, and then down here, this is about that teen. So it's like 313 into, I think we said 316. That would be the first range. But I mean, all the way up to 320, it still should have some resistance. So if we push through these 10s, I still think there's a level that we can be playing off of on Moderna. I just had the 3 shorts. The rest of my Affirm. We still have that Twitter short, which is not giving me any fills out, which is slightly concerning because the market's still looking relatively strong. But Moderna is still front of the mind. Don't want to miss it. Carlos, thank you for the super chat. Haven't looked at AMD today, which means I actually forgot to look at NVIDIA.
Yeah, I mean, we are, loving AMD today. It's at 105 and change. So AMD, a nice one right there. Oh, my chart's not loading. We do like Square here. It's bouncing around. I mean, they got a couple decent notes on them today. So we'll wait to see where Square goes. We'll take the long, and then we're going to hold it through here, 245 or so. If that breaks to the bottom side, then we'll get out of Square. I mean, again, if the market fails on us, then we're dead. So let's wait to see what happens with Square. Again, 245. We're going to give this a little bit of breath down here, but We'll average in, a dollar down. We'll do that, and then we'll see if we can't take out the top at some point. So we'll average into square. And again, this is maybe the market's going to pull back up, so it's going to be a good trade for us if the market goes. I like this name here. New position. We're into square. It's in the money 70 cents right now, but let's see if it can get back to the top, about 248 and change on SQ. So that's going to be my look there on square, and we'll see if Brennan has something else for us.
A couple things, guys. This MRUS, M-R-U-S, it was just early stage data from a clinical trial for one of their treatments. Volume already kind of disappointing on that one. Grom also popping up here on decent volume, just broke back through 5. If you remember, that over there was 5 yesterday in the afternoon. So key level for GROM.
We just got a question. Someone was asking about Alibaba to go over it. It's trying to take out the top, but just if you remember, sort of in the morning when we were talking about it, 155 was this high that I think it still has to break through from a resistance standpoint. So it was a breakdown trade for me if it takes out the low. Otherwise, it's a fade through 155, and I'm not really trusting it to the long side until it clears and holds that level. So I'm looking at it and looking to fade it. The market is holding up essentially flat here, and Baba's looking relatively strong. I still think there might be some profit takers on Alibaba, guys. So we'll have a look-see here. If you're trading it in the middle, fair enough. I'm waiting for it to get to the periphery. That's that 155 top that I'll be in front of, and I want to short it to that price.
Okay, so Tilray's a quarter in the money, quarter only right now, back into the side, in the money side of things. If you are, crypto bull like yours truly, you are going to like what you're seeing right now in ETH. So ETH just up to 3,700 right now. Again, USDs, so you're looking at 5 Gs Canadian, straight up to the upside. Well, not that much. Straight up to the upside right now, 36.40 right here. And this is just a 1-minute chart, so that's starting to go as well. I don't know what Shiba Inu is doing. I'll leave that to you guys there as well. Yeah, Palantir's off, man. I don't know what the hell Palantir's doing these days. We did take that breakout on CEI 35s. We got out some 38s. There was my long 36s and change, so we're going to hold this back to 120. This could just be a roller coaster that doesn't end well, but that's fine. We'll wait on it. I still think there is some upside to this. That 120 did hold, so we're going to see if that really is the key here. 120 is what we're looking at right now on CEI.
Right. Oh, I knew what you meant there. I
Yep,
knew what you meant. Vinco Ventures is tried valiantly to check up and hold that level, that 565 area. Now it's sort of rolling through here. I thought this was going to give you a bounce and maybe a shortable trade. Closer to like $5.90, $6. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I probably missed an opportunity to reload again. No, I didn't. On a firm. It's starting to get there, though. I was trying to hold through and take some shares out in front of the low at 129.5 for about $5. But if it does make a push higher, I want to short at a better price. Each time I take it in front of 36, I kind of want to make sure I'm not averaging in lower if that can be avoided. So I'm going to be very, very patient here, just like I'm doing with Moderna and just like I'm doing with that Alibaba as well. To come back to we talked about the short seller report on DNA. I wanted this to open up and actually have volume. Kathy Wood buying this one, I guess, on that dump. It's still doing almost no volume, but it is trying to get back to the upside. If I thought it was squeezing, I'd think about the long here. There might be nothing to see with that DNA. I thought there'd be more interest in it. But NEO, on the other hand, doesn't really do a flush at the open. It actually holds like well above 35, so maybe it wasn't a trap after all in NIO
not a
here.
trap.
Yeah, it's trying to take out that top. It's getting close to that 36 level that Sean mentioned. So sometimes they don't sell the news, I suppose, on NIO. It looks like it could be heading for a top break. The market's holding up relatively well. We'll see what happens. Brendo's got some news for us. What do you got, bud?
Another Chinese name, guys. I watch a volume gauge here on the market overall, and every second name right now is from China. Here's another one, GOTU, starting to go. Just took out day highs from yesterday on a big volume spike. So here we go, GOTU up 8% as well.
Yeah, me and Neil just talking. We don't trust this Chinese stuff, so we'll wait to see on that one. Let's just see what happens with Alibaba, just to see what it's doing, because I know there's a lot of interest in these names. Yeah, wow. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, I'm a shareholder in Alibaba, but happy to see this going up. I don't know. Like we just mentioned, I don't know if we can trust some of these moves up here in these names. So just watch out with Alibaba. If you are trading it, that's amazing, man. I mean, look, it is going to go. I talked about the technology. These are some of the best companies to be invested in if you're looking for that side. But again, the politics and everything is too strong for me right now on that side. So we are trying to lighten up. Well, we haven't lightened up anything, but we're not buying more of these names. Let's check back in our square position. This is just hovering around, man. This is $1 in the money. Maybe we'll just take this and then hold hold out for a little bit. We're bouncing around VWAP right here. So let's notice that and then take out a little bit of Square now. And then just like, hopefully be able to take some out right now. We're waiting for a little bit higher. We were actually waiting for 248 on Square. So, but it is bouncing off the VWAP right now. And I just think that the market is kind of just hovering around. So if we can, let's just take that dollar right now on Square. We'll offer right in here and see if we get picked up on a little bit of a burst upside. And then that's a clean dollar. 80 cents, on Square. So we'll take 80 cents and then we'll hold the rest for upside, because right now, guys, like the NASDAQ, let's see if we can move this over a little bit and zoom in a little bit more so you can make some more sense. This is what it's doing. It's just up, down, and around. We break down lower, then these NASDAQ, these tech positions are going to be in trouble. Looks like that's what we're doing. Damn it. We should have just took that out and marketed it out there on Square, but we didn't. So hopefully one more bump up and we'll be out of this. But right now, Square falling down a little bit. We're at 247.40 to see if we can't take a little bit of a winner on this.
Yeah, and we'll do this one for Twitter, because it just seems to like, it's putting in a bit of a range. So once I saw this like 62.50 we talked about there, I decided I have to play the range over and over again if I can. The market's, like you said, bouncing around,
yep.
Sean. So 62.50, I got some out, and then I just got back in at 63. So it's like a 40 to 50 cent scalp trade that I'm putting on. If it breaks above, I still like 63.50 as an out, so I will take some quarters to add to the short position. But let's just rinse and repeat. I just got some more Affirm as it popped, and again, I want better prices as it goes up. And Brennan got more for us. What do you got?
One from the semiconductor money group. Marvell Technologies, guys, MRVL up 4.5%. This is all-time highs, again, a semiconductor name, but I just counted 5 different analysts with upgrades on MRVL today.
5 and spin it one more time. We'll do the bang anyways. It doesn't matter. There it goes. Sorry about that, Brendo. All the way to the upside there. It takes out that VWAP, and now we're flying high with some Square. So let's see how high this one can go now, as we're holding a little bit of that one and 1/3 of the position. And that was another email that we got. Thank you, whoever that was, for the email, looking to see, how much percentage of the trade are we still in, because we do get in and out a lot of the time on these trades. So good question, and I like that one. So there it is. So anyways, wow, what a move upside down here. For Square, man. Good call out there. We have that bottom pick. Let's see if we can go to the upside now. We were waiting for 248. I wish we did. We give up that 40 cents, but now we're rocking and rolling, man. $1.36 in the money. Tilray. Oh yeah, by the way, here's another update on Tilray. We did get out another piece down here at 42. It's just bouncing around too many times, but that was a pretty good call, man. And I'm going to do Weed Batman, and then we'll do Valeria Batman, because we're going to have to go. There's Weed Batman, because we like that. There it is. He's in the building always. And then here's this one too. This is one of our original ones. Wow, that's a little bit louder, Robbie. Maybe want to fix that volume. What's up, Miss V?
Hey, Sean, Peloton is up almost 4%. Do you guys see any opportunities for yourself in Python today?
Python, okay.
Well, I'll let you look at Peloton for a second, just to go over. You guys obviously all see that are trading Palt that it is halted. So Palt on the halt. Volatility halt, obviously. If 136, the pre-market high on Affirm, if it breaks the top, which is about 40 cents from here, 50 cents from here, I'll get out. Palt, it'll be open in about 3 minutes or so. I just went to check to see if we had locates. We don't actually have any locates, so no idea about. Yeah, so no idea if you guys have them. This was a great short 3 days in a row, but if it gets to about 10 on a reopen, 10 to 10.50, that would be the big level on PALT. So let's see what happens when it does open up in about 3 minutes or 2 minutes. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Good old Pal Talk, or Pal Chat, or Pal Talk, one of those. Peloton, guys, the iFit, I've never heard of this. I was reading this last night. Apparently, iFit was going to come to market with an IPO, big Peloton competitor. They have shelved said IPO, so might be getting a boost from Peloton, or for Peloton today.
Okay. We did finally get our way into, so yeah, we'll look at Peloton. I mean, Peloton's been an up and down roller coaster a little bit there, needless to say, with some of that news, and then their high relative value there, their PE ratio. So you're gonna have to watch out for Peloton to go, but we're taking NEO here. We are long at 06, so we'll take a dime if we can get it, the first piece out here on NEO. It dropped enough for us to take this. So there it is. We talked about defending that 35 level. There it is. So nice little. Okay, let's go. Print. There it is. So prints on the chart there. That's a nice little win for us on NEO. We'll see if we get some out in the 20s as it's starting to rock and roll now to the upside. So $1.80 now in the money for Square. Yeah, let's go. Pop a wheelie on Square as we're starting to take out new highs right now on the day. This 249 needs to get tested, and then we'll see what happens from there. But right now, that's what we're looking at. We're working with some fire on that one. Straight fire to the upside here on Square. So let's keep going on that. And then there we go. We got another trade. Yes, sir, man. Let's slap our face a little bit there. NEO comes out. right away. So now let's just keep taking this to the upside. As the NASDAQ starting to go, this could be a big NEO trade. I'm going to take one more piece out here, and then we'll let the rest ride. But really happy to take this profit after just kind of trash talking some of those Chinese names.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't seen Alibaba popping yet, which is interesting. I got some more Twitter here. We tried to rinse and repeat it one more time, but it is head toward that 63.5 market, looking relatively strong. Someone in the chat was just like, a firm reload. I'm like, no, I think we said this in the morning. The first level will take out that 136, but remember, the short we had at the end of the day was off of, it's not 140 because it never got there, it was about 139, but it's essentially 140. So it would have to get back into that price. I'm going to take profit all the way. I'm going to maintain my stops. And if it gets up to that 140 area, that would be the next shot that I would be taking on it as the firm continues to run. I almost got shares, more shares in a Neuro here. It is trying to pop back up, and I said I wanted to short this if it got to that 950 VWAP. So I'm sitting in the mid 40s here to reload NURO. You mentioned NEO there. I was about to say Tesla. Here we go. Come on. Tesla trying to break back up here. Puts in a double bottom at 783. It's right at that 787 area where it's running into a little bit of resistance. I don't know why that price from there to like 90 tends to be resistance on the stock. It's going to have to chew through that if it wants to continue to go like the rest of the market seems to be doing here. And this is like the second day or a couple of days in a row here where some relative weakness in Tesla compared to the rest of the market. It runs into resistance and pulls away. Might not bode well for that 780 area a little bit later on in the session. But PALT has just reopened. We don't have any locates on it, but it's still going up. So I guess that means it's no worries there. It did get to that 1050. It has already broken through. This is the level if it rejected that I wanted to short, but we have no locates, so I cannot do it just yet. Okay, so right now, man, NEO, like talk about bottom picking something. I mean, like 35, we basically have bottom Wiccans right there. It's going to go to the high side. So we'll just try to get out in the 60s if we can now on that one, and just loving life right now on NIO. So big move up. We're already out of 20, 40, 60%. So 40% left on NIO. There you go, helping you out as we can. Tilray, we got out of that one. We're very, very small on this. You know, if it comes back up to 1070, we'll get out, but we're basically have less than 10% of Tilray right now to the downside, just making sure that we cash out on that one. Square $1.23 in the money. It just bounced off there, 249, actually 248, 248.50. So we'll watch out for Square. I dumped these names too early, man. So we'll see if we can hold this one a little bit longer. What's up, Brendo?
Remember on PALT, guys, 3.8 million share free float. So a heads up on PALT. Also, there was news on Nikola this morning. They signed a deal with TC Energy Corporation for building hydrogen plants. So Nikola having quite the day here, 7.3%.
Palantir also, guys, as Palantir investor. Oh, I forgot the hat again. All right, I'm gonna message my wife because she's the boss and she'll figure everything. But right now, man, we'll slay some dragons from yesterday's past there already on Palantir, man. We're going to the upside. We've basically made back what we lost yesterday, so thank you very much, Palantir, for that one. We talked about that 2390 break. We took it. We talked about 24 even break. We took that as well. And now we're just, again, this is how I trade Palantir. I scalp it, but I think now, because I saw what it could do yesterday, and I think there's been some relief today. We talked about that. It's the number one stock that we talked about on our sticky note was to go long Palantir because the fact was that they were overshot. Hey guys, yep, no problem. This, overshot yesterday on the sticky note, so we like that. We like what we're talking about there on Palantir, so hopefully it keeps going to the upside. I think if the market continues to move up, this will be a name that I'll regret selling, so we are going to hold on to it. Obviously, I'm talking about as a day trade, regret selling it, because yesterday we did rotate more money into this name and out of some Facebook. So let's go to Palantir. Let's go PayPal. So far, so good, man. How are your trades? Oh, you're looking at Alibaba.
I'm not in Baba yet. Baba's getting close, right? Like Baba's 153.80, getting to that 154. Like I said, I'm not truly a believer that this can really follow through, because one day Baba's going to do like 10%. If you believe that eventually there's a rally coming, like a big push and recovery coming in some of these Chinese names, this stock was well over $300 before. So I think there'll be 10% days. I'm not necessarily believing that it's going to be today. I've already talked about that. We'll see if we can get 154. Moderna is trying to push again towards that high. But I thought it would get to those teens, but it just sort of failed here. And I'm kind of frustrated about that pulp because we still can't get into that one. I want to be able to get some shares locates on that pulp. Moderna trying to take that shot if it gets into those teens. It got down to 05s. It's got a bit of a double bottom, so there's a chance that from here it can make a push into that 16 level. If it does, we're patiently waiting for it. Affirm, you could have jumped in front of it. I was saying 140. would have been the next price. It goes to 138. Okay, so clearly I should have gotten into that one just a little bit earlier. I did not, and now you're going to see it pull back about $3 from here. I still want to test that 140 level on a firm. PALT. Oh, it's on New York. Halt is on New York, Neil. Come on. See what happens.
Is it halted
if
again?
you get it wrong the first, I'm telling you, man.
I know you can't. You got to really.
No, it is on NASDAQ.
Then you get into like a downward spiral.
So that 1057 is a current high. It's now dropping like a rock. I might, I don't know. I'll probably still pay for the shorts because there's still an opportunity. But this was the area that I would have had it. So it's not even a guarantee that I'll pay for the shorts at this point, even if I'm able to get them. It's starting to pull back. And again, you just always go to the. When in doubt, zoom out. Especially on a stock which has already fallen so hard and given you like 2 or 3 opportunities in a row on a daily chart. Great bounce that it's put in, but that obvious area here, 10 to 1050, is going to stand out. It's just kind of come and gone for us here. And one that we kind of forgot a little bit about, and apologies for this, that DATS was another one of these names which had fallen precipitously, is the word I want to use here. DATS, come on. Trying to get off its hide a little bit here, Schneid. I always like to put up to 15 minutes so you can see the perspective. Yeah, it's up 14 or 15%, and it's put a great bottom in at 7 even, but we were trading this to the south side when it felt like a rock at $16, let alone the 18 that it got to earlier. It should have all kinds of resistance at 11, but also in front of $9. So as $9 approaches on DATS, watch out for that name. I'll be looking to possibly short it there. I did not even get, I think I got one fill up here on this Neuro. I know I didn't even get the fill. Yeah, I'm still sitting here trying to get this cluster of shares here on Neuro. I'm offering actually twice in the 40 range. We're still holding on to our 70s. It did flush down past that $9 very, very briefly. But this, to me, it's like a short until it's not. We'll see what happens with this name here. It's kind of rounding itself off and the volume dying. Usually the volume dying is good for the shorts, although it's holding a bid just a little bit.
I guess we're getting set up to go to Brendan on the big screen, so we'll be doing that very, very soon. Just an update here, man. Pretty happy with our cash out there of what some of our 20% on NEO. We were waiting for that level. It came through, man. It didn't touch 60, but we got out at 52 on the way back down. So that was a good out for us right there. And then I'm just looking to get out of this thing if it breaks back down below these quarters. So, 35.30 will get out of this. And I don't trust this name. I mean, we're happy to take that long. We're happy to take it. The NASDAQ's starting to go again. So this is a very, very risky position here for NEO just because of the Chinese and because of the NASDAQ being at the top here. So we did take out a little bit there. We'll take it a little bit more if we go. And then we're going to reload back into Square. Square falls, man. We took out 2/3 there. Talked about that. And then it went to 248.50. That was really our target. And for some reason, we didn't do anything about it. So we'll wait for another bid down here if it continues to fall. But with the NASDAQ going back up, I think we can buy Square now and see where we go. But that's that. And with that being said, let's go back over to Brendan now at the big screen and see how we're doing on the broad markets.
Hey guys, you had a nice day so far. Let's have a look at North American markets here because ones top to bottom. So it's been a while since we could say 1% for basically every market on this board. I also saw we've now officially erased the losses for October in the U.S. So back to positive territory on the month as well. S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all doing quite nicely. The Russell even 1.25% here in Toronto, pushing to that 1% mark. A couple of things we were talking about if you joined us in the, pre-market. Snapchat launched a new product today. We skipped over it really quickly, but nice move so far. I was a little surprised by this. 74 to 76, straight to the upside for Snap, up 4.25%. GM as well, day highs right now on decent volume, 2.5% for General Motors, guys.
And I'll throw it over to you in a second, Neil, because right now we just got Rocket Labs right now. Spin it. We waited for this one and we tried to buy more. Trust me, we tried to buy more, man. We were waiting at 14.50. It only goes down here to 14.60 or 14.70, but there it is, man. The Rocket Labs. Hopefully you guys held that one and we just got our 48s, man. We held strong on that. We waited for it. Congratulations, anybody that had conviction on Rocket Lab.
And I totally forgot about this. Put this one down on my list and was talking about it a few weeks ago or even a few days ago. Oracle on the relative strength tip, and it broke through. It actually just broke through its highs here, 92.30. So a big time level and a big time break for Oracle. I did miss the breakout trade, but we're going to sit here in front of the dip buy and try to catch it. Twitter is on a reversal play here. It took out the top. I just reversed into a long, and I got more shares of Neuro on big volume, by the way. So remember I said that the volume wasn't that big on Neuro? Well, it just ticked up and then gave a fill right back at the earlier prices. We were taking it in the mid 80s and then down here in the 73 range. So it just gave me a shot at that fill. So I got back in. We have a 67 short here on Neuro. Moderna's creeping up. Alibaba finally filled. So I sat out Alibaba all morning long. It didn't break down, obviously, so it held that support. We talked about 150.75. It holds that at the open, so no entry there. I wait for 155, or at least a test close to 155 to grab a 154 short, 154.15. That's splitting hairs. It's only 15 pennies. I want to get some shares out, definitely in front of VWAP, but probably in the 153 range as well, and then try and rinse and repeat. I'm not really top picking any of the other names here, being very patient with it, but it's just, and it's not against the Chinese names. It was just more along the lines of, we're already at 5%, gapping most of the range, and there was a big resistance level at that 155 in Alibaba. So, until it breaks that, I'm not going to be doing any backflips on Alibaba in the long term. We'll see what happens. I'd love for it to happen at some point, just not necessarily in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, we've already done our backflips on NEO, so we'll wait for that to happen, and hopefully that can come through there. So here comes CEI. So we just took another bid there. We're going to hold out for 120. Look, I mean, this is going to be a negative stock for me because we were short, and then we got taken out there, and we only took 2 pennies. I thought there was a good chance that it could go upside there. So we'll average in one more spot. Now we have a much better price. Instead of having 36s, we now have 32s. So we'll wait to see, but we're still holding out. I just got to make sure I have the trade out there for CEI. If we do break down below 120, obviously we need to be getting out of that one. So we'll watch out for CEI on the way back down. So that's going to be one for 119 or so, or maybe even a little bit lower, like a 118 breaks, then we can get out on CEI. So we'll test that out. We won't get out of it all, but we have to get out of some if it breaks through 120. So that's a call right there. Let's see where it goes. Okay, Square. So we did take one more bid there on Square. So now we're going to wait to see if it takes out 245. If it does that, it does that. Because right now, look at this, man. I don't even want to check my PayPal because if Square's not doing anything on this move upside, I don't know what PayPal's doing. But right now, Square bouncing around. We'll see if we can get this out, man. 247.50 would be pretty sweet. That's $1 from now. We need the market to move, and if it does, then we have Square. But until then, we'll wait for 245 to come through and then take an L on that one if it does happen.
Yeah, and sort of speaking of, well, it's not necessarily entirely related, but it is a crypto name. And SI had been squeezing to the upside. I mean, it's not a huge, it's about 8 or 9% short float. It's been a ridiculously strong stock. I sold a bunch because I was like, this is way too much at 150, and that kind of feels like a sucker move now. But it's getting pretty close to this lower high at 170, 180. As it creeps up here, I'll probably look to be shorting it. But watch out, because here goes Neuro, which had been falling asleep. I'll tell you right now, the stock had been falling asleep. It's now screaming into that 10 range. My price is about 967 here. I mean, 970 going to be a bit of a high. So I want to see how it trades above $10. It was a great short in the morning. And it's not to say that you want to give it some room, but usually these things are shorts till they're not for me. And when it's already given you $1 drop, actually $1 plus drop, I tend to want to lean back into the notion that it's going to fail around those same levels. So it probably just stopped some people out there when it first took this move into 10. And now that it rejects it, this is where I would look at maybe add some shares. I haven't taken anything on Alibaba yet because I'm looking for about $1 on the first part of that trade. If I'm giving it $1 to 155, then I want to make sure that I'm getting $1 on the first out. So we'll see what happens if that continues to push down. Notice Alibaba is retracing. If you're watching, Alibaba is retracing while the market is continuing to ride, which is kind of what I expected to happen. Brendan?
Just noticing, guys, financials very strong once again today, as they were yesterday. This ETF here, FAS, which is a 3 times leverage bull ETF following the financial sector. This is all-time highs for this thing. Just broke 130 there, up 4%.
Good. So it actually broke through. I actually put the stop order at the wrong price here on Square. It actually broke through 246, and I got out. I wanted to wait for that 245 level. So we did get back in, and we're flat now on Square because the money that we made there, we lost there. But I mean, either way, you can see we could roll with me now. We're long. We meant to get out, so that's a mistake. There, I put the wrong price. I meant to go you heard me say 245. So, I mean, maybe I shouldn't be back in because right now it's coming to the downside. Let's check out PayPal just to see if this is, more of a fintech sector. Okay, so PayPal's still holding up. I mean, what is PayPal even doing here? It's doing absolutely nothing. We bought some yesterday at 260. That looks like it's a good trade. Yeah, wow. JP Morgan, brand new, 52-week highs right now. Good call there, Brendo. JP Morgan, 170.70 now, where it's trading, and 52-week high of 170.44 violated today. So there you go, man. man, up to the upside, 171.50. Wow. JP Morgan, we did sell some of our bank stocks a while ago, but yeah, that seems to be a mistake as well, as we are just rocking straight to the upside. Now go JP Morgan, go. Yeah, AMD, man, you guys know
NVIDIA here.
We've been talking about AMD for a long time, man, and 106, great trade there. We talked about it the last couple of days, defending that 99 area, that you couldn't get much better than that, man. So shout out to everybody that was long with us here on AMD. And I mean, I'm a big AMD bull. I've been long this name for a while. We continue to be long. So AMD for the win, man. We love that stock.
So, I mean, as AMD's breaking upside here, you're going to notice NVIDIA pulling back a little bit. Then you look at this cluster it's about 205 into this like 210 range here that had been sitting in. You had the great breaks from 200 that we're looking at. We had a couple of days ago. We probably should have had the same thing yesterday, but that was more of the afternoon move, and NVIDIA went early. So I like it buying into this dip with the notion that that previous high, previous resistance 210 turns into support. I want to be long in the front end of that range, especially with the market moving into the upside. I know there's some concern about the ARM deal. We went over that. I think we talked about it a couple days ago.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, we might have talked about it in the video as well, but we definitely talked about that one. I think they have a good chance of getting that done, although the timeline did get pushed back. So I like this resistance to turn to support. The second I saw AMD looking relatively strong, the market holding up, feels like a good chance to buy the dip on NVIDIA here. So I have picked it up right in the middle of this cluster. Like, look how, and this is really whippy that it's been, right? So that's why I don't like buying at 211 or even waiting for 210. So I'll try to catch it in the middle. I can use low of the days and out. I can definitely have some profit taking in that 210, 211.50 range, probably 212.50 as well. Let's see what NVIDIA does here, because it's still up 1.6%. But it's testing down towards those lows, giving you the dip buy while you have some of the other names moving up, while the market is actually at highs of the day. I still didn't get that Boba fill, which is kind of weird, but Neuro, this stock Neuro just came down back to 950. I'm going to be sitting more on the bid here, 930s to 940s, and probably rinse and repeat those 910 areas. I have not gotten the dip buy yet on Oracle. It is one that I do not want to miss, because you are getting a pretty significant level break here on Oracle. It might not have the volatility of some of these other names, but I kind of feel if it can hold above that previous 92.30 high, all-time high there, 52-week high, then you're definitely going to have some support in front of it. So it's VWAP as well. If you makes you like it more, fair enough. I'm more looking at the daily chart when it comes to Oracle.
Okay, so yeah, I like Oracle, but we are going to short DraftKings right now. So we are short in DraftKings. A nice little move upside. I'm just showing you the 20 period because look, this 51 has been a problem the last couple of days. So let's see if it can hold that. We're up 3% on DraftKings. So we're going to go short now. So we go short off that same level there. We'll see if we can bring it back down here, like 50.10 or so. Take that 30 cents on this name and then to see where we go from there on DraftKings. So, let's see. We are long Square. We've averaged into that one. We'll talk about that. Last shot there, 245 break, and we'll see what happens. But here comes DraftKings. Let's go right down to the downside right now. I mean, you could get some out here at 20. Maybe we'll do that, put 27 cents in our pocket. If it comes back down to this pre-market level right there, 50.20. But you got to have some kind of out, so that's going to be mine right now on DKNG. So let's see if it continues.
Like 139.24, so like 35 cents above. It then rejected that level, consolidated lower, showed you some sell. Then I jump into it. For me, I think you're almost always crazy in the start of a move like that on a stock this strong. Usually you want to go when the selling has already come in, then you just stick your stop at the high of the day. It allows for a better risk to reward profile there at least in my opinion. So we'll see what happens on a firm. NVIDIA got pretty close, didn't quite give me the fill. That Neuro's starting to follow through here, guys. I just got some out at 940, so we'll get back on the bid in front of 9 even as this one continues to fall into the downside. Once again, it was just one of those, the history of the stock. Just watch the history of the stock and watch those key levels and then just sort of play off those.
Yeah, please refresh. We'll go to Valeria in a second and see what she's up to, but we'll get Valeria on the screen in a couple seconds because you're probably tired of us, but there it is right now, man. We'll backflip on Square. We will do a backflip on Square because Square goes right back to one of my bigger stocks today as we just take that out for a nice profit right there on Square, man. Yes, sir. Take that 245.20 bid, get it out at 246. We'll take 80 cents on that all day, every day on that one, guys. And then look at Rocket Labs. Like those of you, you might have not been like, hey, what is Rocket Labs? But when Rocket Labs comes through, all we see is this. Money, 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 money. All right, good trade on Rocket Labs, man, up to 16 bucks. We'll see where it goes from here. New deal on NASA. Pretty happy with this trade, as you can see. But Brendan always has the goods. What's up, my man?
Yeah, monster mover aftermarket yesterday as well for RKLB. MRUS, mentioned earlier, right off the open, had a big move to almost 30 there, trying to get back above 27, which was that support there for MRUS on positive data, guys.
It's a bit mixed coming back from Brendan. Sometimes it's like I put the GOAT on because it's definitely good, but I'll go Gates of Hell for a firm because that takes out the top. And again, I'll probably make top wick on a firm, but I don't think I'll make top wick on NVIDIA today because I'm probably going to be taking profit well before that. And again, it's about if relative weakness sometimes can be a buying opportunity. I think that's what I saw there in NVIDIA. You got a chance to be to catch a lagger, right? Like AMD was breaking out, the market was at highs, and NVIDIA was essentially repeatedly testing a previous resistance level right at this 2150 range. So we did grab that long. I said I would take some out for the first dollar and then see if we can't retest those highs. Unfortunately, a firm stinks. Neuro doesn't. It's going to continue to fall here, guys. My bids are out for sure. We've been ignoring, sorry, I don't know if we've been ignoring CEI. CEI was a short like 3 separate times. I stopped out at 133 and have not touched it since. It's got that support first at that 120 level, and now it's putting in a bit of a higher low. So now you've got a higher low, and you've got the previous pre-market high at your back. I can put up the 15-minute chart for you just to give you an idea of what the support's going to look like on the higher time frame. It still has to take out this 141 top from yesterday. So you haven't done that just yet. You're about 10% pullback from exactly that range, and you've got lower high support. So I really kind of like the setup here. You've got essentially 5 or 6 cents worth of risk in the mid-20s. You've got room to 141. You've got a breakout potential if you want to hold shares through that price. So all of that is a long way of saying I'm going to start getting into a long position on CEI. Had it not made the break of 133, the only longs I would have probably taken would have been down in front of 1 and 105. Now that it's put in a higher low, now that it's made that initial break, I think I can buy this in this 125 range. Might have to start at 127.5 here, see if I can get a midpoint fill just to get into the position. If I can get 127.5, we'll take some of those and then work into the rest of it in front of this little cluster that it's like 2 or 3 cent range here. I'll take all of those fills as we can get them. Like I said, NVIDIA, we took some profit, and now I want to try and hold through what might be a high of the day break. PALT never did get those locates on PALT. It's holding up rather nicely, though, so probably a good thing. We'll have to check back in as it retests that 1050 level. That's a big level on the 15-minute chart as well, so you do want to watch out for that. Probably going to run into some resistance there on PALT. We'll see with that NVIDIA. I don't know where AMD is right now, but I am keeping my eye on it because the NVIDIA move initiated with AMD pressing to those highs, and when AMD sort of pulled back like 50 cents here, so I want to make sure that NVIDIA doesn't fall too much. AMD went first and NVIDIA followed. The same thing could happen on the back end, which could be a reloading opportunity, by the way.
Yeah, we're loving, I'm loving AMD and everything. I'm not in it, but what a great stock that's been, and what a great call for many of you there for AMD. Thank you for taking it, and thank you for having that stock for sure. Okay, Rocket Lab's still going upside. That's obvious. We talked about that. Palantir comes all the way back from dead. We should have reloaded there. Was not paying attention. We were trading DraftKings, trading all that stuff, but came right back to that level that we like, 90. We talked about that, so now we'll empty some more out on the upside of Palantir. And just like I said, man, a very profitable name for us today, so we're really happy with that one. And then, yeah, crypto still trying to go, breaking through 3,600 here on Ethereum, so it touches 3,650, falls back in, and now base is down there at 3,600. Bitcoin, very similar at 54.6 right now, touching 54.7. Actually, that's a little bit stronger coming back in for BTC. So just for you guys that are watching crypto, you can definitely watch that. CEI back with a vengeance, man. There's that reload there at 25, and it wasn't even a reload. It was an average in, so that created some nice profits for us. And now we'll see where it goes from here, because I'm thinking more upside, but again, who knows? CEI 135 is a good spot. We're long at 132, so we just take this out for flat if we want to, but I still think there's a chance for it to blow up. And then here comes Square right now. That's not Square. Let's go. Here comes Square. Nice bottom picks on this one. Now we're $1.20 in the money, $1.25 in the money. One of my top stocks today is going to be SQ. BBIG, let's check out Vinco Ventures, man. I mean, we are hit this and quit this. I mean, I've learned my lesson on some of these pre-market moves, so that's going to be a good one, and I'm happy to learn that lesson, to be honest with you, and got that out, because now it's just fading right back in. We talked about getting longer if that does come down to 5. I'm not in Palt, but it's been halting. There goes Rocket Labs again, right up to $16, man. Let's see if we can get like a 1640, 1650 push on RKLB. And then NEO, we did get out of NEO. So again, we've talked about that, and yeah, that just, it faded out there. We talked about getting out at 30. That's exactly what happens. It goes down to 25. Should have put this stop maybe at 20, but whatever. NEO still trying to go, but not as strong as the market, obviously. So that's something to look for. The market rolls over. I like short on NEO.
And I said I was patient with Moderna. I think it's the way to go sometimes on a stock like this. Like, I know I want to be involved in it. I know to me it's going to be probably a short until it really breaks the trend. It's been too ridiculous to not just play the trend with this stock. And it gets right into yesterday's rollover. This is where I covered it in the afternoon too early, around 3:15. So it just rejected those by getting to 313.5. So I'm going to short on that little bit of a dip. I'll take one more fill probably in front of that 315, 316 area, and then see where it does try to go from there. You can see, let it turn first. Try to join the move instead of make the move. Looks like NVIDIA might have been a better idea. And I don't know, with the market exactly 1.5%, the other thing to note, 15,000 on the NASDAQ right now is on the offer. And that's a long way of saying I was about to hold through on NVIDIA and say, let's just hold through a top break. But with the market at a level like that, NVIDIA basically giving you what was the entirety of the pre-market range, like 210.5, and then all the way into this 212 level. No, I'm just going to bank the profit. You never went broke taking a profit. I'm not looking to gift horse in the mouth. It's not to say that it's too good to be true, but with a market at a level like that, sometimes you just have to adjust. And I see the NASDAQ at that level. And AMD had pulled back as well, which is part of the reason I had gotten into the long trade here in NVIDIA, having noticed that and getting a good price. So we'll just walk away. Sometimes it's more about getting in and getting out, and then rinse and repeat if you can. Because if NVIDIA dips, and we like what we see, I'll probably just get back in that 210.5 area and then see what happens. It's a good trade. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's going to continue to rally. Certainly could be true, but like I said, you can't go wrong by taking some profit.
Nope, you cannot. Square goes up to 246.50 there, and we did not take out the profit. We probably should have done that as well, as we've let this thing run a couple times for us to no avail. So every time it runs, we got to take some out, and we took a lot out. We took out 2/3 there, but we don't need to turn this one into a loser. So what is this? 245.90. Yeah, I mean, we break back down below 245.90. Let's just get out of some Square as well. Put 70 cents on the board for this one if it does break back down below, because I just don't want to take any risks here with Square, especially if this market does fall. We already long CEI, which has turned out to be a great trade, man. CEI, yeah, backflip that one on that average in like 125. Yes, sir. We pegged that bottom at 120 there. So, all right, there goes Square again. So happy it's back into the money, $1 here as it's starting to go back to the upside. 246.70, that's the high. Let's take it out right now, 246.50. We'll take out some Square here and just be really happy with this trading today on that name. So with that being said, we'll throw over to Brendan for his small cap recap. It's Neuro time, baby.
Hey guys, yeah, pretty quiet morning overall for small cap world, but a couple to talk about. NURO, CEI, obviously the obvious one here, but NURO, we mentioned just before the open there, there was a pretty clear level around 990, an area, we'll call it 980 up to about 10. Ended up rejecting off of that a couple of times, and then that was a pretty epic flush all the way down to 9 to 880 even, which was this level from yesterday afternoon. There was actually far more volume that went off on that second push back up, as Neil was describing there, back up to that 980 to 10. So heads up on Neuro, might not be done. Yeah, BBIG was interesting. Once it got below VWAP, there was just no bounce. It just could not bounce whatsoever. Around 6 is when it crossed through VWAP there. There was a little bit of a level up there at 615. Yeah, what an unwind after that seemingly positive news for BBIG today. And I've been sitting here watching this MRUS. I am actually missing data here. This is not like a halt and a resume. There's a couple of candles actually missing there, but watching 29 up there for MRUS, guys.
Every now and then it happens. I'm actually going to tweet this one out. So I waited around for my entry price into Alibaba, so I'm pretty happy with myself for following rules. I always say this, that if you follow your rules and you take a loss, that is the cost of doing business. If you break the rules, that is something that you have to improve. Like as for that NVIDIA, yeah, still looking pretty strong. So I could have gotten out, maybe I've gotten out of this one too early. We'll see. It's now testing that actual high of the day. If it rejects there, I'm looking to buy the dip. I'll try to get back in close to that 210.50 area that we got before. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, I'm not going to chase this one too far. I want to make sure I'm getting my price and only that.
Okay, so yeah, same kind of feels for me here on all these names. We are waiting here to see what happens with Palantir. So it comes back to the downside. We are taking a shot here with this name, and we'll just see where it goes. Because for right now, Palantir coming back to the downside, the Nasdaq's going to turn here. So if this continues to fall, we're going to be out if it breaks through 60, 70 or so downside. I don't even want to be part of this mess down here because I know what I'll do if it gets in here. I'll take it out if it breaks 50, and I don't want to do that. So we'll wait to see, take it out if it comes into here, and then we'll see about reloading a spot. We're up on the stock today, but now we're going to average into this one, and we'll see if we can get a better price and then go from here. So that's going to be my sort of plan of action now on PLTR. Let's see where we go. We just averaged in on VWAP there and on some of these pre-market lows. So we'll, we got to let it test again, and now we'll see if it can go back to the upside. And then just an update, a good out. I mean, I don't know if it's good out or not, but it's right here on Square. We got out. So 246.30. We put that money in our pocket as well. We have one negative stock. No, we don't. So far today, nothing negative today for me at all. It's going to be CEI pending, of course. That was back into the money. So far today, I mean, look what we've been doing, man. BBIG, that's going to be a big winner. I mean, could have been a lot bigger if we took more shares, but it's still a winner. We took that as well. DraftKings, a nice win as well, but that's coming back in for us today. Neo, look at that long, great long, got out though, but still put that money in our pocket. We just talked about Palantir. Don't need to tell you about Rocket Labs, how happy we are with the way that one's been. Square, man, I mean, these are all my trades. I mean, tell me if we have one that I'm missing here. There goes Square back to the upside, and then there's Tilray out right now. We actually took it out when it broke back above 75, but Tilray is it my biggest stock? No, still going to be Square today on my biggest stock, but Tilray second as we take out the last 5% there on a 75 break back to the upside. So we're going to let Tilray just chill out now. We already hit that early, and I'm happy that it's up, shareholder, but at the same time, Tilray's a mess. So we'll wait to see where that goes. But right now today, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 8 today. So we'll put that on a board. It's been a rocky one, but we're super happy with the way trading's been going. And yeah, let's go, man. Disney's a good stock too, Larry.
I see you guys talking. We'll look at Clover in a quick little second here for sure. Just go back. I just finally got the fill into Oracle. As it pulled back into that 92.50 area, got 55 so long. This is the break on the daily chart that it just put out through that high. Clover, which I have not looked at, by the way, until just now. So this will be like my first look at Clover in today's action when the chart actually decides that it wants to load up. This is going to be the daily, so it is breaking back to, okay, I see why you guys are interested. I mean, Clover's breaking right back to this 750 area. Now, keep in mind, it's rejected this a couple of times. It's probably like 5 or 6 times in the last week or so. And then you have above that previous support at 760. So this range, 50 to 60, is probably relatively significant resistance, I would say, in the theory that it's been here before and it's rejected it and failed hard at least a quarter every single time. And sometimes it's gone back about, full 50 cents. But hey, it's put a nice bottom at that 7 even area. I'd think 760 would be the break on Clover. You're just kind of looking at this high and then the previous floor. So if it consolidates, gives you a nice little consolidation here during lunch, maybe gives you 760 break or pull back into the quarter. But the quarter also works here as well, guys. The volume isn't exactly churning through at this point. That's the reason why I wouldn't necessarily jump into it, right? Like, it's had one spike when it broke this 50 level, and then it's essentially barcoding. So you want things to pick up a little bit or test that level higher, or maybe you just buy it on the dip. I think at some point it's going to go. This is like 5 or 6 times that it's testing the same price area. You want it to break out of that range. And then 760 is, to me, almost going to be more significant than the 50 level when I look at Clover, guys. So that's just my opinion. You can take that however you want. If you're in it, congratulations. It is up on the session. I do want to go back to CEI because I sat there and I was like trying to get midpoints. And you saw, I'm like, I'll try to get 27.5. Why did that stay on Clover? I was trying to get 27.5 there instead of just removing liquidity at 28, which would have given me the fill. Didn't do it. You're going to see it test back up, lower high, consolidating one more time, this time in front of VWAP. I still want to be buying in front of this cluster here, so I'll be patient. If it puts in a lower high, that means it still could trend lower. So I'm just going to hop on the bid at that 128 level. and just be sitting around waiting for it. You know what? I'll even put on like a reverse gateway, like a bat Y or something like that. So I'll be sitting down here in front of 128 to sort of build something in that 1/4 range, and then we'll see what happens with CEI. For now, the lower high has been put in. Remember that 141, the current high of the day on CEI, does correspond with the top in yesterday's action. So it's a random price, the same way 133 was seemingly random, but those are significant levels yesterday, the afternoon high and then the actual high 141. Both of them were initially respected. Oh, sorry. The first one was initially respected before breaking. And the same thing happens twice. I like to break out as much as I like to dip by as well.
Okay, we're just looking at some of our positions again here, just to make sure that you know, we're good with them. And look at Ford. I mean, wow. We talked about Ford on the break. I mean, I've been buying this one, and welcome to anybody that's just joining us now. But we've been buying Ford since $6 and talking about it on the show. So shout out to Trader TV Randy. I know he stepped in with me at 6, and now it's at 14. And what a monster Ford's been here, man. I mean, this was my last buy, was actually quite a big one at 1330. So right there, you had this nice little 1330 move there. This is the daily chart. It was breaking out right in here at 1330. That was the breakout on Ford. We're about to have another one right now. Next stop 16 on this one. What's up, Brendo?
All right, guys, our friends at Cavu Mining out with more news and more drilling results today, and a copper discovery. So CAVU announcing a copper discovery at their Hopper project in the Yukon today. The company saying up 1.7. You can see here in Toronto, the company saying it has now substantially increased the value of this project based on these drilling results out today. The technical team also looking forward to building further value from more drilling to come at the project. So CAVU up on discovering copper today, guys.
Yeah, every we had the guy on the show talking about copper before, and yeah, I was talking about, you know, like every one of these batteries and whatnot needs a copper wire. So yeah, good little look there. Copper obviously very important to the economy. So take a look at those guys for sure. So anyways, back at it. Yeah, Ford's been a big trade, man. Congratulations anybody long Ford. This is in my long-term account, not my swing account, so we could stop talking about it for a day trade. I think it's way up now. This could possibly be a short. I mean, this move is huge, man. Off of yesterday's analyst day with GM, this is a big move. I mean, you may even want to fade this down through 1470 off of 1485 high. This is probably overdone here, up 5%, guys.
Yeah, and I don't think any move up is not going to be overdone in the overall market, given what we pulled back in September. But we are getting to that. We're still testing that 15,000 level, and so this is why. And I could be, like I said, I might be wrong about that Nvidia covering that trade, but it's that 1500 level that got me out. You're going to see Nvidia start to pull back here. Now, it did not pull back to 210.80. I probably would have been trying to buy that dip. That's just a dark pool wick that came down here. It is now pulling back about 50 or 60 cents or so. I do want to buy this dip, especially if, I mean, we just, oh my God, again, we're about 1.5%. If we take out 15,000, and catch a bid there, and you can get a chance to buy Nvidia below the lows, I'm probably going to try and go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I want to wait closer to VWAP or closer to that 210.50 area. No need to rush. It's like 10:30, right? So you want to wait for the prices that they're best. Just like I waited for CI to come back. Just got that 128 fill finally. Brendo.
Just checking on this Yatsen Holdings as well, another Chinese name. It's actually not that small. 385 million free float, 2.3 billion market cap. Another Chinese name, no, having quite the day here. YSG in New York. That was quite the volume spike earlier. Just broke $4, 10% now for that one. It's 10:30, guys. Let's get a quick check on how things are shaping up over in Europe. Miss V, what's up?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are positive. Car parts maker Valeo trading in Paris is up more than 6% after Citigroup upgraded the stock from sell to neutral. Back to you.
Yeah, I was just noticing the Russell guys pushing 2% now to the upside.
Yeah, man, this is a big market, man. This is a big market today. Very, very nicely done. S&P up 1.5, NASDAQ up 1.5. You just mentioned the Russell, man. Get those small cap stocks going as well. Big day all around for the market. So, yeah, congratulations. I told you guys the first weekend, I'm literally, you can rewind a couple weeks, but I mentioned the first week in October was buy time, and so anybody that's done that this week, congratulations, because you've made a lot of money. So that's good, man. Apple back to 144. That was a missed opportunity. Microsoft back to 296. Holy crap. This is actually where I sold Microsoft, so I didn't buy any back. You already know I got into Nucor and got into PayPal. So we'll watch to see there. There is a shopping list, but we might have missed some of the opportunities. So we'll wait to see where that goes. But right now, Microsoft, wow, right back to 296. We talked about buying the best quality companies, and there we go, man. Microsoft for the win.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, if I'm long Oracle above its high, I missed a chance to get back into that one. It's going to happen. Like, you're going to sell things that are strong when you think a pullback is coming in, and then if you don't buy them back, that's the opportunity cost of trimming. Sometimes. I was sitting on the offer, well, I am sitting on the offer at 132 here on CEI. I just got there, and you can see I'm kind of sitting all the way up into this lower high, and just in case this dip. And again, it's kind of obvious like why I was sitting on the bid at 128. Like I said, like this is exactly where it broke when I was trying to get it here. So, you know, why not? Like just sit in front of it, you'll hit that bid. I was willing to pay for the fill. Like I said, I used a BAT Y. So you pay to add liquidity instead of remove. You get to fill faster that way because it's cheaper for other people to remove liquidity. And then if it pops back up, we'll take advantage of the move. I still like a 141 break, so we'll go with that if it does come. Oracle's not really doing a heck of a lot, which is crazy because, whoops, ORCL, which is kind of crazy because the market just broke. 1.6%. We're now at 149.9. Oracle just bounced through VWAP here. If we're taking out that 15,000, I would have loved to say I could add at 92.30, which is exactly that high. But it looks like we're going here, so definitely going to hang on to this position. Normally, I'd be scalping some out in front of this range here at 92.80 or so. But if we're going to take 15,000, I want to be holding through high of the day on Oracle, if not adding around VWAP here. So let's get a little bit more aggressive. We can tighten the stop maybe on the shares that we add. But 15,000, big level coming, and you want to, if we break that, you kind of want to hold your longs in tech if NASDAQ's going to take out that level.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I wish we still had this. I mean, we look at this bottom pick we had, 245 on Square, guys. It's at 248 right now. So, I mean, that's a $3 winner right there, so similar to that NVIDIA. I mean, this was just, we dropped it, though, and we kept saying to ourselves, like, I mean, it's my number one stock, so I'm happy with it. Let's not get that twisted. But at the same time, it missed opportunity there on, well, not missed. Anyways, I'm glad we were looking at it. That's what that is, but just giving everyone an update that we had this Square trade, which we still did, but we do not. So there goes Square now. Okay, so that's that name. Let's just keep on looking, man. Beyond Meat, wow, what a good move that was. It was actually really funny yesterday when I saw it below 100 there and was like, maybe this needs to be bought. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens here with that one. But right now, Beyond Meat, straight to the upside. There's that move down from 100. We could check out a 20-minute chart here, see if there's any levels. This may be worth fading. Yeah, there's that 99. Couldn't believe that yesterday. That's pretty low for Beyond Meat, guys. So just like Peloton, there's going to be some good opportunities to catch a little bit of this. So we'll watch to see what Beyond Meat's going to do. But there it is, man. A big move up there on the 1-minute chart for Beyond Meat. Where's my daily chart on this thing? Because I just want to show you guys. Oh, I think I might have lost my daily chart. That's 20 minutes and then one more shot and then we'll finish it. Yeah, I don't know where it is. So anyways, there goes Beyond Meat right down, right up to the upside there. And then Palantir, we just talked about that a little bit. Nice little bump up off VWAP. So we cash that out all the time. This is how you scalp Palantir and able to make some money, even when it's not really working. So Palantir right now, a nice move to the upside. We just took some out.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, again on the offer on this silly like CEI. It's like the 132 is turning into a bit of a level here that we have to respect. Now 10% to the upside on Levi's, but the volume's dying down. Just sort of noticing this weird cluster here at 26.50. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. We talked about it needing to break possibly back out. And this is the 50 period here that you're going to see it try to take that 27 area. It's been pretty strong. Sort of ignore these dark pool wicks up here. These sort of crazy wicks that you see to the downside at least. But I want to see it try to take out that 27 level. Could be one for the afternoon, but I want to file it away. The volume is dead on it, but it's a pretty strong move that we're seeing so far. And then this CEI, like it's getting ridiculous. I might put some shares on the offer here at like 31s because I want to be getting some out. Like while the getting is good, you want to make sure you're taking some profit. You get a fill that good. And again, it's only 3 pennies, but on essentially a penny stock, you got to take the profit when it's there. So I will cover some at that 31. I will try to still be on the offer all the way through. It's absolutely dying on volume. And then, of course, NVIDIA. Give me a break, NVIDIA. Yeah.
Are you still in it at least?
No, I covered it.
Yeah, same as me, yeah.
So there we go. takes a while to load, right? So it's actually holding. Now we're still at that 15, and NVIDIA is holding the top. Moderna is making a jailbreak towards that 316 level. 316, it's not Austin 316, it's the price I was waiting for a reload in NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, in mRNA. NVIDIA, come on, give me a pullback before we take out 15,000. Although looking at that board, Brendan for Sector Watch, I'm not sure it wants to grant me that wish, because pretty strong here.
To say the least, yes. Strong is definitely the word. 1.4 right now for the S&P. I mean, there are a handful of negative stocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe. The rest of the entire market in positive territory right now. The everything rally has continued. Material stocks among the leaders so far, led by FCX. I noticed there 7%. It's been down the past couple of days, but big move. Healthcare stocks, very strong. Consumer discretionary and information technology. I mean, you can dig into these if you want, but pick a name. It's going to be higher. Ford here standing at 4.75%. There was news on Penn National this morning, 4.8% to the upside for Penn. Under Armour here, a couple of days now for UAA to the upside. ENPH, 4.25% if you come down to the semiconductor group. But widespread advances, guys, for the overall market. 1.4, as I said. A handful in the red. Everything else higher.
Of a lot that's showing weakness today. You're getting an all-around rally here. I mean, I'm looking at like Fubo TV here. Come on. Stays on NVIDIA. That's like the weirdest thing. You almost have to do it twice every single time. But Fubo TV making a pretty solid move, about that $25. So you're getting breakouts almost across the board here. And Daily Chart doesn't want to load here. But you're getting big breakouts almost across the board. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a rally that's extending just about everywhere. Some small caps are going to march to the beat of their own drum. Like we're talking about that CEI. If you happen to be watching FAMI, that'll be basically the same thing. This Pulse, which I never got into, I can say it doesn't really matter that you can want to short it all you want at that 1050 level. You have to have locates, this little thing, like you can't go naked short unless you're breaking the rules. So there was no trade to be had here for me. It's trying to hold here at about 870. So I know some people were looking like, where do I dip buy into this? Where might it find some support? I would have been more looking to where it broke out here going into that halt at 930, which was at about 840. Just after the open. I think the fact that it's trying to hold support higher than that is not a horrible sign. The other thing you can look back towards is, and again, this is going back to that 840 level, it would have been a couple of days ago when it had that resistance at 840. So that would have been more significant of a level in terms of holding 840 the breakout price, 840 previous resistance, but a higher low in front of it's not bad either. It does give you a bit of a trade here, 870 to 880. With a stop at 840, which makes some sense. I just always prefer catching a falling sword right at that level or right in front of it when the algos also jump in as well.
Okay, so we found out what was screwing up our feed, and it was Rob, someone who said something about torrenting in the bathroom.
Wow.
Well, we figured it out. So shout out. I
can't believe it's actually true.
Nor can I. So you may have seen. No, we're just joking. You probably have not seen the last of Rob, but we'll see. Okay, we're just playing around. How far will Facebook fall? Is Facebook falling right now? Let's just check that out. We are averaging the DraftKings. Is it? Okay. Maybe there's news or so because I don't see the NASDAQ falling. But just quickly, we took out 20 cents on DraftKings. This was the plan, man. I just thought, based on the 20-minute chart here, that this was a level that we liked, $51. So we'll hold on to that one, and we'll see if this one can come through. I think this could be a big trade for us if it happens. We are giving up a little bit of risk here to the upside, breaking back through 51. But let's watch out here, back into this area here, 50-30 could be good, and that's why I'm excited for it. I think it could be definitely a good trade there. Yeah. So thank you for that. And for Ford right now, we're right at the kill spot. So Ford does go in the money for us, 3 pennies. Probably should have took that, but again, we didn't. So now we're going to wait. It's going to take out the top. We'll average it out. And then 1490 is going to be the spot for Ford. This is not a big position on this short. I just was thinking that, the market may come back to the downside. And then Ford yesterday off the GM news. And then today, obviously bumping up. I think Ford is in a better position than GM. I own GM for sure. I think in the low 40s. I have to check where. I'm not even sure where it's at. I think it's at $42 or 56 bucks or something GM right now. So that's been a good investment. Ford's been better for me. So let's wait to see where we go. We average one more time and we hit 90, man. We'll get out of this one. I don't love this short. So we're just thinking that it's a little bit overdone. I mean, the last time Ford moved 5%, I mean, that's a big move for them. So I think it's a little bit overdone based on like GM's yesterday was 2030 was their projections based out for. That's a long time from now. So let's wait to see if that can come through. But Ford right now, huge strength, and I'm just loving this position, guys. So, stock market upside. I told you, it's always better to be a bull than a bear, guys, and the market's proving us that today.
Yeah, long term, that's what it's all about. This GROM is making a big move here. It's made moves before, and not nearly as big as what you saw on the 29th, I should say, right back here. And we talked about these same levels yesterday. It failed off of 6 even. It gave you a lower high short off of 5. That was fantastic. And now you're getting a pushback in the afternoon. In the aftermarket, I should say, to that 6 level, and a break of that 6 level. Or, I mean, a potential break. It's already taken out the 590 high from yesterday. 6 even just happens to be a round number. I'm not going to stick my nose in front of a 6 even when 590 is already broken. If it gets up to that 670 previously, I think that would be a good level. It just sort of stands out for a potential. I think there's going to be a lot of people short on the day trade in front of this 590, or sorry, in front of the 6 even, which it's got about 125, maybe 140,000 shares on the offer. It's done 28 million, probably more than that. So I don't know if that's going to mean a whole lot on that level too. It's probably going to churn through it, so watch out. It's about to break right now. To me, the 590 is already gone, and here comes the 6 level test. Did it just already break it? Yeah, it's trying to make that break now. It just took out that level and immediately sort of flushed back through. This is where you want to see, like, when that snapback comes down, is it a rejection, hard rejection, which right now it's held the 590 from before, which is a pretty positive sign for the bulls. And again, I'm not going short in this name. And it just took back out that 6 even level. If I can get it now, I actually want to go, there we go. I just wanted to get some long. So what happened there is like the rejection of the 6 even break, and then falls, holds that 590 that we were just showing to you guys in the 15-minute chart, and then retakes it to the upside. So I just grabbed some long here. I want to see if I can get some out in front of the quarters. We'll do that. 670 is going to be the next level into the upside. If it does do a sharp pullback, the reload to me is in front of 590, not necessarily 6 even. So I'll hop on the bid. I would only get out if it probably retook that 590 area, but I'll do a pullback trade in front of that if I can, and then see where GROM can go. To me, I'll probably take a shot shorting it at 670, but that break was a 590 level. That's why I didn't want to get suckered into shorting in front of 6, because to me, the 590 had already gone. If you're going to short it, you're shorting it off 590, and if it works, it works. You're not holding it to 6. Give it that 590.
Yep, 590. I keep you thinking about the fan 590. Those of you in Toronto know about the fan 590.
Yeah, buddy.
For sports, do you think last week's low for the NQ is going to be tested anytime soon? No, I do not. Goldman, thanks for the question. Is the market downturn over now? Downturn? I mean, were we really? I mean, yeah. I mean, do I think it's over? Yes, I do. But I mean, do I think that we could still fade out a little bit? I mean, it's already Thursday. My call was that we turn around this week. We did call 4,100 on the ES. How low did we even get there on the ES? We'll have to double check that one. But let's just check out the 20 period or the 20 minute on the Qs. 350. I mean, you're up to 365 right now. That's a nice little low. I mean, we could retest that, that's for sure. But let me just find the daily chart on the triple Qs, and we can talk about the NASDAQ a little bit as well, as this looks like the daily chart to me. Yes, it is. So, I mean, that's a big pullback from the 50-period moving average. So even back here in March of 2021, when we had a little bit of a dip down as well, it's a very, very similar pullback. You made that lows. Now you're up to 3 times in a row here, 3 days in a row to the upside. So, yeah, I mean, you get big panic flushes, that's for sure. So we could get another one. There could be some profit taking happening in the next couple days, especially today. Do I think the NASDAQ moves up from here? I mean, we're right at that 15,000, man. I mean, that's right back in. I can't believe we're back here. So it's been a nice move to the backside for these names, led by, like I said, Microsoft, and Apple's back to 144. We were talking about Apple closing that gap at 142, but that doesn't seem to matter anymore. So yeah, I mean, I like all this. I mean, Apple down at 138. Ticked that level right there, so that was a good one back on April 28th, and then, you know, falls to 120. So yeah, a lot of these moves, they just look similar, but yeah, I do think we could test a little bit lower. So do I think the downturn is over? yes, for a big swoosh, but I still think that taking profits at these levels, you probably won't be upset, especially if you're looking to reload. But like we already talked about it, sometimes when you reload, when you take out stuff, profit like Microsoft, I took it out at 296, right? I took out Apple at 152. But if you don't buy it back, then when it starts ripping to new highs and things like that, that's when you're going to be like, what did I do? So got to get some money to work. I think it's about time to put some money to work right now.
And the thing about reloading is, and then taking profits is you should do it in every facet, right? So it's not just, look, it's not just in the long term. If you get some out, the idea is that you want to get back in if you like the trend. So in Grom there, which we were just talking about, and I know I chewed through a lot of that, and apologies if it happened too fast. I wanted to make sure we got the levels out there in the higher time frame so that it would make some sense, where we'd like both the break at 6 even and not the short at 6 even, and then we'd like the dip and then have a stop at 590 instead of 6 even. So I did get the reload there in front of 6. We're going to get some shares out again in front of that quarter mark, and then probably in front of that 50 mark, and then see how far this one wants to go. I have not taken any shares off of this Oracle trade because, heck, the NASDAQ is still testing 15,000, and I kind of want to, look, I want to still be holding the Oracle long because it's not as volatile, right? So if we reject that 15,000, I don't feel like Oracle is going to absolutely crater on me. So I might as well spin that into holding it through the 15,000 break. So let's see what Grom can do. Let's see what crypto and I guess currencies are doing with Money Talks with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, all about the U.S. dollar so far today. You can see lower on the day, 0.16%. We got the weekly jobless claims today. We'll get the non-farm payrolls number tomorrow. So lower for the dollar. It's been on quite the tear. This is a daily chart for the DXY, 92 up to about 94.5. So in need of a little bit of a pullback possibly. So a lot of these going to be higher today because of some U.S. dollar weakness, including the Canadian dollar back to almost 80 cents there. British pound 136 up 0.35. Australia and New Zealand as well having strong days. Yeah, I mean, cryptocurrencies are kind of holding at the top end of the range, which is good to see. Probably in need of a pullback here. 53.9 for Bitcoin, 3,500 as we said, basically flat for Ethereum. Guys, back to you.
Yep. Yeah, crypto. I mean, always a fun trade with cryptocurrencies there today. The 24-hour, 24/7 market there for crypto. So watch out there. We talked about Shiba Inu making some moves, and we'll just update that quickly. It's been faded back down, so I did cash out and switched over to some Cardano. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Looks like that paying dividends right here as it's come back down in now. Shiba Inu coming back in, and obviously people taking profits there, which makes sense to me. So that's what we did. But okay, we didn't take it out of all of it. We took it out 20%. I mean, we talked about it. So full disclosure on everything that I do. Okay, so Ford. Again, we've averaged into this one, and we're just giving it to 90. It actually stops at 90 there, so we didn't get out. How I trade is with stop orders and hit targets and things like that. Today, it's actually going to be, we put this trade on. There's 2 trades. We're going to go 8 for 8 with 2 position pending right now, and that's going to be obviously 3 actually. CEI, DraftKings, and Ford are all positions that could easily go red for me, so those have been pretty good. Palantir is starting to come back to the downside again, but again, every time we get in, we try to get it out, so we're still in some shares here, so we can get it out right now, but that's not enough profit. We're long at Palantir. Well, we're still long on the upside here, 95s, but we've averaged in, and now if we take it out now, it will be a loser. So we're gonna have to watch out for that. And then where's our Square? Like, is that at like $5,000 yet? Square, nice move up to 247. This is my #1 stock because of this bid down here at 245.20. Brendan, maybe one last time. What's up?
It's rare, guys, that we get an IPO open on the show. It's rare that they get them open before lunch, it would seem these days. But fitness center operator Lifetime Group just coming to market there. So it opens at $16.57. I'll show you the chart in a second. After pricing at $18, so it was priced again $18, opened $16.57, ripping right now to the upside.
Little random price there, 16. Didn't like the round numbers there, so we'll have a quick
Sure,
look
that's
at-
where it opened. Like, that seems weird. I mean, I'm not questioning Brendan. Just that's
No, I'm not
weird.
questioning it either. I
Like
just
that is like 16.57.
as we sit here
Come on,
questioning
NASDAQ.
it.
Come on, NASDAQ.
It's just weird. Like, you see a bunch of these.
Was it NASDAQ or New York? What am I don't want. New York. Come on, New York. Come on, New York. Come on, NYSE.
Do your thing, NYC. I got a question. Michael was asking, is Neuro still a trade for me? I still have some of this, right? Like we shorted in the morning, that was fantastic. We reloaded, that's okay. I got just under half the position left. It's retesting these highs. It's at 9.90 to 10 even. I got a 75 price, which is in the money, about 5 or 6 cents. But as long as volume dies, I don't want to reload it. Unless it maybe tests closer to 10 even, and I don't want to cover anything unless it goes, below VWAP down to like 930, 940. Unfortunately, with Grom, I thought this one was going to maybe continue to go. But like I said, I bought the dip in front of 6, took some out again in front of the quarters, and I had a 590 stop. Told you guys 590 was the stop, and then got stopped out. So it's actually consolidating below that. I'm not going to jump into the short. Remember I was saying 670 was the next level to the upside here. It was kind of in no man's land, 590 to 670. This is turning around. So not really much of a setup for me to jump into the short trade. So I will probably sit that one out. CEI did give a couple of those fills, like 31 and 32, and now it's going to sleep. So not that aggressive of a dip buy because it only gave me the one fill, and I was waiting. I was waiting down at 25, and it came and went to 26. So I think I'm probably going to get some bids in here at 26, 27 instead of 25. So I'll make that adjustment right now and just see what happens. And again, I'm willing to pay for the fill just to make sure that we get it down here. But CEI starting to go to sleep, which might not be the worst thing in the world, because if it consolidates at VWAP and it's holding a higher level support, this is the kind of name that sometimes puts in that power hour or 1:30, 2 o'clock type of run move on CEI. So as long as we're holding support, we'll hang on to the long. We'll try to build that one. I'm relatively certain that Trader Prad will be, during Moons and Movers, probably talking about this one. I hope it goes during that time. I'm sure we both do. But we'll see what happens. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. If it wants to barcode and hold in the money for you a few cents, well, it is what it is.
I'm long. I'm long right now at 128, and then taking some out right now. So
dying,
like I said, position pending, but so far so good on CEI. We'll wait to see where that goes, and then there goes Donkey Kong as well. We'll just say a little bit of a roller coaster ride here for DraftKings because short there, takes them out. So now we'll wait. I still think DraftKings falls back into the 30s. We'll have some bids there in case that does happen. A good hold on Ford right now as our price is 83. It's at 84. We can take out the bid right now and be fine on that. So again, it's going to be a really successful day for us. So thank you again for joining us and watching us. Do stay tuned, please. Let's throw Miss V on for a second here because she's getting ready to rock and roll with her, if she's there. I don't know if she's there. With our memes and movers. I don't know if Brad is there either. We can do a quick little shout for them. Show you guys what you're about to get involved with here as Brad is ready to rock and roll. I want to ask Brad also how New World has been because I downloaded it for my 9-year-old, and I want to ask him if that is appropriate or not. So we download that. He's really super excited. Also bought the kid a new gaming mouse, so the guy's super excited about that. I'm so proud of him. But okay, so that's everything, man. We're gonna wait out for Ford. We're gonna try to get out at are they not there, Lucas? Okay, let's throw it over to them just for a second. I just want to say hi. I don't even have to speak. Really, I just want to say what's up to them. Hey, Miss V, how are you?
Hi, Sean. I'm good. Brad, how are you? I think Brad is good also.
Okay,
Thank you
good.
for shouting out to us. And guys, please smash the like button. Let's get 1,500. We need just 200 more. So be kind and turn your thumbs to the upside. And me and Brad will see you just in 4 minutes.
Yeah, Prad is digging down there. He's getting ready to rock and roll. They're looking for some names. Thank you, Prad. I mean, what a great show they're putting on. So, again, a big shout out to Prad and Ms. V for all of that. We will go back to Ms. V soon for what day it is, but stay tuned for that. Neil, we love that show. I mean, it's taking off.
Fun.
It's doing well. And please participate in the chat. It's been fun.
Exactly. We do it. Look, it's only 3 minutes to go. Of course, we're going to be heading over to Memes and Movers in just a little bit. Definitely come back for Power Hour. I mean, we've seen these moves happen before. 15,000 is still getting tested on the NASDAQ. If we're still lingering below there, 15,000, CI just go a little bit. Yeah,
it's at 34 again, so great.
CI back up at the top, so a good one there. I think it's probably got a 141 break in it today. We'll certainly see. Before we get out of here, it's only 2.5 minutes. You just saw her, but I want to know what National Day it is. You want to know what National Day it is. So let's go right back to Ms. V and find out.
Neil, and hi again, guys. Thank you very much for spending this morning with us. I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for 1,500 likes, everyone. I'm losing voice right before Memes and Movers, so happy National Frappe Day, everyone.
Frappe, yeah. Now, you know what? I mean, I honestly, my favorite Yeah, I mean, I like coffee for sure. Frappe is a little bit too sweet for me. I like flat white. If you guys have heard of a flat white, those are my favorite sort of espresso drinks. So that's where I am on that one. Flat whites for me, cappuccinos as well. I mean, espresso. I mean, whatever. I'm Italian, so let's just move on. What's up with you? With
I've never had a frappe, so I can't even really comment to say good, bad. I literally am the most boring coffee person. I'll have flavored coffee, but whatever I have, it's usually black. Sometimes syrup or honey in it, but.
The wife has my hazelnut coffee here. Shout out to OTCX that sent that, and then it's Mr. Cheese, Brendan. It's Mr. Cheese is in the building.
He's like, what?
Man, what the hell's wrong with me? Brendan, frappes?
He's got
hey, what up?
Twinning.
What up, kid?
We're twinning today.
Shout out to Jeff Mendel and stuff like that. So there
Sure.
you go. So what up?
Yeah.
These are great though, aren't they,
No,
Brendo?
amazing. It's still hot right now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I filled that up at, I don't know, 6 o'clock this morning or something.
I'm using one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they make frappes. If you go to Europe and get a frappe, it's made with instant coffee, like the crystals.
Instant coffee?
Yeah, I think that's how they actually make them.
Really?
So,
I remember having that when I was a
have
kid.
had them, but yeah, I mean, coffee's coffee.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's a good thing, bad thing, whatnot. I've never had it. I'll try it one time. Someone was like, Amelia had the Affirm chart up. Did you have final thoughts on it? Yeah, I mean, it went through that 140 and rejected it, so it might still have that resistance level there the same way Moderna seems like it has that one in the teens. So we'll check back in. We can always check back in during Memes and Movers, and of course during Power Hour, final hour of the day. Market's still trying to break 15,000. That's a monster level here. I think it'd be fantastic if it did. I'm trying to hold Oracle. Come on, baby, let's get 15,000 so I can hold this Oracle through the high. I know you're looking for probably the same thing here, and of course CEI on everybody's minds. I know what's on my mind. I would love to see what's going on with Memes and Movers because we didn't see Prad there, so I know he's prepped.
No, we did see him. We did see him.
I kind of missed him there. I missed he was on, but I know he's very busy getting ready for you guys. Memes and Movers, Trader Prad, Mes V, let's go.
Yo, welcome back to Memes and Movers. I'm your host, Trader Prad. This is the beautiful Miss V to my right side.
Thank you, Prad. Hey guys, welcome back everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Let's continue trading. This is an exciting day. Be active on the chat, ask us anything, and for sure, don't forget to like this video. All right, Prad, how's your trading day going?
Yeah, not bad so far. You know, taking shots here and there anywhere I see opportunities. How about yourself?